consecutive rubber match this year, Bill. It's kind of odd. The Otters, the trend has been, we'll win the first game, then fall in the second game, and it'll always come down to today's game. And the Otters have been successful as of late in the rubber match games, but it would be nice if maybe one of these days the Otters could take 3 in a row. I think we were talking about that earlier before the pregame show.
Right. I'll agree with you, and I'll say this. 2 out of 3 is always better than 1 out of 3.
Right.
And you look at mathematics and you say, hey, wait a minute, if you're 3 for 4, you're batting 750. Now, if you're 2 for 3, that means you're, 667 or something like that. So that's better than 500.
Right.
So you look at it, if you took, you got 100 games and you win 2 out of every 3, that gives you, about 65 games out of the 100.
Right.
So I think you'll win the pennant by then.
Okay, well, I think that's what we're hoping for. Playoff berth at least. Doesn't matter how we get in. We're going to be playing our 30th game of the season. Hard to believe.
I know.
The season's going by faster than we can snap our fingers.
Yep.
The important thing is that the Otters right now, if we look at the Frontier League standings, I'll get to that momentarily, but the Otters are in a tie with the Southern Illinois Miners and the River City Rascals for second place. Florence Freedom right now, they're 18-10, but the Otters have their number. The Miners, who were in 4th place for the longest time, are now in 2nd with a record of 16-12. The Otters and Rascals of River City are tied for 3rd at 16-13, and the Gateway Grizzlies are at 14-15 in last place. So what's important is that you need to win, obviously try to win every time you get out there. Win series, but you also need to stay within the hunt until we get to August, where we have an idea of where we are at and what we need to do to push for the playoffs. And the Otters have a golden opportunity right now. They have Jake Welch on the mound today against his former team, the Windy City Thunderbolts. The Otters signed him this year from the Thunderbolts, and he's opposed by Kenny Matthews. The last time both pitchers were on the mound against each other was the 5th game of the season. Kenny Matthews pitched 7 shutout innings, only allowed 2 hits from the Otters in a 7-0 victory. Now, Jake Welch is 0-1. He has a 3.49 ERA. In his last 4 starts, he has a no decision because the Otters either A, had the lead when he left and weren't able to close it out, which is majority of those starts, or B, it was tied and when he left, or the Otters did not have a lead when he left and they were able to tie it, so he didn't earn the loss. But a majority of those no decisions were when the Otters had a lead and were not able to shut the door and close with a victory. You
know what you're telling me right now? You remind me of a pitcher we had here years ago, Jake anyway, I'll get it later, but from Syracuse. He was a Seton Hall grad, and he was one of our better pitchers. In fact, I think he led the league in strikeouts, and he did not have a very impressive win-loss record. It was exactly what you just said, and that is, here it is, he's winning 3-1, and they take him out in the 6th inning. All of a sudden, the other team scores 2 runs, it's 3-3, here comes the reliever, he gets the win, and poor Jake, he got a no decision. And it's just ironic. Well,
the good news is that Mike Rizzatello is back.
Good.
He's in the DH spot today, but ever since getting hurt in the first week of the season, he was able to insert himself in the lineup. Andy's given him his opportunities. And so far, he's not doing too bad. In 9 games so far this year, Mike is hitting .273 with 6 hits and an RBI. In his last 6 games, he's hitting that well. So Mike looking forward to contributing in the lineup, being back. He's worked really hard to get to where he is right now, and he's going to be our pregame interview. That's going to happen in a matter of moments. I was nice enough to sit down with Mike for 5 minutes, and he talked to me about not only what it's like to be back, but he's one of the more physically fit guys on the team.
You told me that.
He talks about his preparation between nutrition and working out, as well as New York guys, with us being Northeast guys, New York guys bring a different kind of toughness and attitude when they carry themselves. So I talked a handful about those things with Mike, and we're going to hear that next. Mike Rizzatello on a pregame warm-up, and you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
Now let's go inside the clubhouse for today's one-on-one with the Evansville Otters.
Dave Nguyen here with Otters catcher and sometimes designated hitter Mike Rizzatello, the man from Long Island, New York. First, can you pronounce your hometown name? I tried it on the broadcast yesterday. I think it was butchered by Bill and I, but that'll be the first question.
Actually, I wound up listening to the game last night, and Bill got it right. Yeah, it's Ron Konkama.
Wow.
Ron Konkama. So that's it, if you're wondering.
Ron Konkama. Okay. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You're coming off your injury after the first series of the season. You've had a handful of ABs and a handful of games. How are you feeling overall?
I feel a lot better. I mean, it's nice to be back in the lineup and contributing and being with the team. No player wants to come here and watch baseball games. You know, we all want to be out there with our brothers, you know, trying to contribute and trying to win baseball games. So, I mean, you know, I had off-season surgery, and you know, I wasn't expected to come back as quick as I did, but I worked my butt off to get back. So, you know, a little flare up there, and but you know, I'm good to go, and it's good to be on my feet again and competing.
Now, with being on the road and you working hard to get back, I've noticed you're probably one of the more physically fit guys on the team, and you take nutrition and fitness very seriously. Is that always been you, or has it been a recent thing?
I mean, I've always, as far as working out goes, I've always been in the gym, but you know, I wasn't always like that where I paid attention to what I put into my body, just because, like, nobody really knows, you know. Everybody just eats what they're told, protein, you know. But, I mean, like I said, with the surgery, you know, trying to come back as quick as possible, I do a lot of reading and found out how your body reacts to certain things. So if I want to stay healthy and I want to be on the field, those are the things that I got to pay attention to off the field. Yeah. So.
Now, being a catcher, in a way, you're in control out on the field, especially infield, whether it's telling them if there are men on first and second, here's what we're going to do. If there's a runner on first, 2 outs or 1 out, here's the double play situation, whatever the case may be. In a way, do you like being in control and being in an authoritative role?
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that any catching coach I've had has always talked about is, you know, you're supposed to be a leader back there. Everybody's eyes are, even though they're looking at the batter, everybody's looking in your direction. So whatever kind of vibe or body language or anything you are putting out there, everybody's picking up on it. So, you know, that's one thing that I try and pride myself on is I try and be a leader out there, whether it's, I mean, it's not always verbal, you know, it's just leading by example.
Now, being a New York guy, a Northeast guy, and playing catcher, you must bring some sort of toughness to your persona when you get out there. Is that a fair assessment?
I mean, in a sense, yeah. I mean, it's New York personality is hard to understand. You know, we like to bust each other's chops a lot, and we tell things straight up, and we're not always the nicest people. Let's just put it that way. You know, there's a lot of guys from all over the country, and I've had to pump the brakes a little bit on my personality because, you know, my buddy Cepeda is here now, and me and him, the nicest things we say to each other is when we're busting each other's chops, and we had to, you know, I got to warn some guys, like, you know, hey, man, if I'm busting your chops, it means I like you. You know what I mean? Don't take it personal. So, yeah, it's definitely a personality that takes getting used to.
Now, we're over 30 games into the season, and we played more road games than home games. But from being a veteran on the team this year, playing with the team last year, there's something about playing at home, especially at Bosse Field. In your opinion, what is it about playing in front of, whether it's the Otters fans or just this historic venue? What's it like playing here at Bosse?
I think you hit the nail on the head with the historic venue, and there's not many natural surface fields. And not only is it natural surface, but our grounds crew does a great job of. It's perfect every time we're out here. The dirt's perfect, the grass is nice, and it's just a real baseball feel, And of course, being in front of the home fans, there's nothing better, And the road is fun too, but it's nice getting to sleep in. It's not your own bed, but it's nice being able to go home after the game and taking care of your business off the field as well as on the field.
Mike, we're glad that you're back and healthy and ready to rock and roll and help the Otters hopefully get more wins throughout the season. We'll get back to starting lineups and first pitch. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball, 91.5 WUEV.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Well, maybe we might see one of them one of these days, Bill. Dave Nguyen here on the call with Bill McCune. Otters getting set for the rubber match between the Windy City Thunderbolts. We played the Wild Things last week. So let's get to our starting lineups, shall we? Today for the Otters, batting first, playing second base, number 2, David Cronin. Batting second, the left fielder, number 5, Keith Griesaber. Batting third at third base, number 7, Ryan Long. Bill, we talk about consistency. I know I mentioned this earlier in one of these games, but it seems like Ryan will always be slotted in at batting third, and I think that's what you like about certain lineups.
I do. A consistent lineup, and a person comes to the ballpark, he knows where he's playing, and he's in the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, Carlos Castro, who's been hitting the ball quite well coming off the 6-game road trip to Chicago. Batting fifth will be Rob Calabrese. He's the catcher, number 25. Batting sixth, Mike Rizzatello, who is our pregame interview. He's the designated hitter tonight. Batting seventh will be Jack Meggs. He's in center field. Batting eighth, making his second start as an Otter, number 35, Justin Irby. And then batting ninth, the shortstop, number 27, J.J. Gould. So Cronin at second, Griesaber in left, Long at third, Castro at first, Calabrese, the catcher, Rizzatello at DH, center field and Meggs, Irby in right, Gould at shortstop, and on the mound, the 6'6" right-hander from New York, number 66, Jake Welch, who's 0-1 with a 3.49 ERA. For the visiting Windy City Thunderbolts, with a record of 14-15. Batting first, playing left field, Tyler Straub. Batting second, a switch hitter in center field, number 24, Manuel Mesa. Batting third, a lefty, the first baseman, number 34, Dash Winningham. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Tyler Alamo. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 8, Shane Carrier. Batting sixth, the man who has hurt the Otters throughout this whole series, number 27, catching, Trey Fulton. Batting seventh, number 4, the shortstop, Randy Perez. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 7, Jordan Swiss. Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 2, Blair Beck. And on the mound, the lefty, Kenny Matthews. Before we get to the national anthem, Bill, what is one key you're looking for today other than throw strikes?
And that's it. The key is always the pitcher has to throw strikes and get ahead of the batters. And before the game, let me compliment you on that interview with Mike. I really enjoyed it so much when he talked about his New York upbringing, put it that way, and I agree with him so much. They are very arrogant people, and they're very nasty. And anyway, he described his area of living very, very well.
Yeah, no, I think it's this team has a good mix. They have some guys from Texas, some guys from New York, a handful of guys from the Philadelphia area like myself. So they got a good mix of guys, and then they got a guy like Hunter Cullen on the West Coast. They got some guys from Cronin's from Chicago. So they got overall a good mix of athletes and backgrounds.
Well, there's a big, excuse me for interrupting, but there's a big difference between the Midwest and the Northeast.
Oh, 100%.
They're gentle people here in the Midwest.
Well, we're going to get to the national anthem, and when we come back, it'll be first pitch from Bosse Field between the Evansville Otters and the Windy City Thunderbolts. You're listening to the Pregame Show on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The preceding has been a presentation of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville. For a complete game and broadcast schedule and to keep up on the latest with the Evansville Otters, visit us online at It's game time for the Otters on 91.5 FM WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
3-1. Long. Toward right. Toward the corner. Toward the foul pole and over the wall. Fair. Home run for Ryan Long.
First pitch. Cronin crushes it in the air to deep right field. He backflips it and it's way out of here.
Don't forget, Otters fans, you can catch every Evansville Otters broadcast on 91.5 FM WUEV, online at evansvilleotters.com, and through the WUEV mobile app.
Roxon deals the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside corner. Vail rings up Bissell to end it, and the Otters are going back to the postseason.
Now, let's go out to the ballpark for all of the action.
Welcome to historic Bosse Field, home of the Evansville Otters. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters in their 6th consecutive rubber match of this season, and we're glad you're joining us, whether it's online or on the air on 91.5 WUEV or the Otters Digital Network. Bill, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about today's game.
Well, I am too, Dave, because I want to say something I just observed. The Otters are in the whites, and the visiting is in the grays. That is real baseball. Grays away from home, whites at home. and we are watching a great game.
Well, unbelievable, as we hope to see Jake Welch on the mound earn his first win as an Otter. He is 0-1 with a 3.49 ERA with 4 straight no decisions. I don't know about you, but that's pretty unheard of to me.
Yeah, I'm just looking. It looks like he's got a pretty good slider there, and I'm not sure what that one pitch is. Is that a sinker or a fork ball or what? Do you know?
He's got a slider. At times he'll try a curveball, and he's got a fastball. He does a lot of breaking motion throughout his pitches.
Well, he had something he gave this kind of sign, and it looked like a sinker, but I'm not sure because it was only one. So we'll need to observe it a little closer.
6'6" right-hander Welch on the mound. To the plate will be Tyler Straub. He's 2 for 8 in the series with 2 singles, batting .267 on the year. First pitch from Welch will be a fly ball foul down the first base line and counted 0-1.
It was a pretty good fastball low and outside, and that pitcher jumped on it as quick as he could.
As you noted earlier, Bill, that the Otters are in their home whites and the Thunderbolts are in their road grays. A classy night for a thirsty Thursday. Ground ball foul down the third base side moves the count to 0-2. As it is Bud Light Thirsty Thursday, discounted Bud Light drafts throughout the ballpark. So if you're not here, there's plenty of brew to be passed around.
We got a pretty good crowd here tonight too. So let's hope we win. Support the locals.
The 0-2 from Welch. Check swing, and that's a strike 3. Strikeout to start the night for Welch. There's one away here in the first.
And if you notice, that was a slider low and in the dirt, more or less. And the batter wasn't sure. And that is a very, very effective pitch when you have 2 strikes.
That'll bring up the man named Manuel Mesa. First time we're seeing him this series. He's batting .136 on the year. First pitch to Mesa is a called strike on the outside corner. Mesa 3 for 22 on the year. No RBIs, no home runs. Next pitch from Welch is a ball. Count even at 1.
That was a pretty good slider he just threw.
Welch will set from the belt. Calabrese, the catcher, will set up outside. The pitch. Bunt. Long. On a hustle. Throws it across the diamond. And a bunt single to Manuel Mesa will give the Thunderbolts their first hit. Kind of surprised the Otters, especially the infield, on that particular play.
Oh, yeah. But I'll tell you, Ryan Long did a pretty good job. There used to be a ball player here, Bill Melton. He played with the Evansville White Sox in 1967. Later on, played with the the Chicago did. But I tell you what, he was great at coming in and fielding that bunt bare hand and throwing the BB to first. He was good. Ryan did a good job there, too.
We'll bring up Dash Winningham, the first baseman for the Thunderbolts. First pitch to Winningham is a ball just missing the inside corner. Count at 1-0. Winningham batting .240 on the year. He's 0 for 6 in the series with a walk and a hit by pitch. Runner on first and Mesa. He reached on the butt single moments ago. Welch from the right side of the rubber. Gets the sign from Calabrese. He'll fire. Stealing second. And we'll get there in time as the ball sails behind second base. Cronin there for the backup. J.J. Gould unable to catch that one as the throw was a bit offline by Rob Calabrese. A successful stolen base from Mesa. With 1 out, the Thunderbolts have a runner in scoring position here in the first. Otters line up in the infield as follows. They have Welch on the mound, Calabrese behind the plate. At first, Castro. Second, Gould. Gould's at shortstop. Second is Cronin. And third, Ryan Long. The 1-1 from Welch. Swing and a miss. Fastball right there. Count at 1-2.
You know, I'm watching Mr. Cronin playing second base, and there he is, shading the sun from his eyes. I'll tell you what, you see that every home game. If the sun is out, it is it's kind of tough playing second base and right field with that sun.
1-2 count to Winningham, who leads the Thunderbolts in home runs and RBIs. Next pitch is high and way outside. Count even at 2. In the outfield, we have Griesaber in left, Meggs in center, and making his second start of the season, Justin Irby in right. Welch gets the sign from Calabrese, set up outside. The 2-2. Ground ball over to Cronin. He makes a diving stop. Throws over to Castro in time. That was a great play there by the second baseman, Cronin.
That saved the run. I'll tell you what, that would have been an easy run for the visiting teams if Cronin don't get that, because it was, you look where the center fielder's playing, and he had a terrible, I shouldn't say terrible, he had a lot of ground to cover in order to throw the runner out at home.
We bring up Tyler Alamo. Alamo, 2 for 6 in this series. He's got 2 runs scored as well as a single. Alamo hitting .244 on the year. First pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. We got righty on righty matchup. Runner at third. 2 outs here in the top of the first.
That was that pitch I mentioned earlier. I didn't describe it, but I'm telling you right now, it's a forkball.
Fly ball, foul territory. Castro near the bullpen, and Irby makes the catch right by the Otters bullpen. Gets a high five from his teammates, and he'll go back to the dugout with a round of applause. Great catch by Irby as we head to the bottom of the first. No score here on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
Well, I don't know about you, Bill, but that was Gloria that we were introduced to as we get back to the bottom of the first. Gloria was the introduction theme song, and it's important to note that because the St. Louis Blues, for the first time in franchise history, won the Stanley Cup last night, defeating the Boston Bruins in Boston by a score of 4-1.
Oh, in Beantown.
Yes.
That was my favorite city in scouting the major leagues. I used to make at least 3 trips. I'd stay 6 days at a time, and I'd always make sure you had to go in September. That's when the Harvard people wear their scarves. I mean, their sweaters around their waist.
Got it. And I'm sure you've had your handful of New England clam chowder.
Oh, I did. I loved it. I loved it. Right up the street from the in Copley Square.
Mm-hmm. David Cronin to the plate. Foul ball down the third base line. Count it 0-1 to the lefty Cronin against the left-handed pitcher Kenny Matthews. Matthews is 1-2 this year with an ERA of .270. His only win was against the Otters. Like Welch, our starting pitcher for the Otters tonight, 3 of his last 4 starts have been no decisions. The 0-1 to Cronin, ground ball past the pitcher Matthews, behind the back, and will not be able to make the play. The second baseman Beck tried to do
error.
The second baseman Beck tried to do a behind the glove catch. It will be officially ruled an error, but it's important when your leadoff man gets on base.
Oh, yes. And like you said, I never could understand that backhand infielders fielding the ball with their backhand. All I have to do is take another step, get in good position, the glove in front of them instead of anyway.
No, I think some people try to be fancy or try to be too cute instead of just making the routine play.
Oh, yeah.
Next pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Keith Griesaber, the batter. Keith is batting .294 on the year. He is 3 for 7 in the series. The lefty Matthews checks Cronin at first, and this is a fly ball foul right into the seats on the first base side. Count at 1-0.
You know, I'm going to say something we don't know because it didn't happen, but I think Cronin would have beat that ball out because it was a slow grounder and the second baseman had to hurry it and it would have been off balance. I think Cronin would have got a base hit.
I think he would have benefited from the ball going on top of the pitcher's mound before going to the infield dirt.
Right.
Throw over to Cronin or throw it over to first to try to get Cronin is not in time.
Right.
Count still at 1-1 to Keith Griesaber, the St. Louis native. I talked to Keith at batting practice today, and he was so hype and excited the fact that the Blues won the Stanley Cup. Cronin goes to second. He'll dive head first, and the ball sails into center field. He's going to go to third, and sliding in safely at third base with his legs first is Cronin. So David taking advantage of not only making the successful stolen base at second, but the overthrow into the outfield from the catcher Fulton allowed him to move to third. So now there's no outs, runner on third instead of a runner on first, and Keith has a 2-1 count.
That's what you call hustle and heads up. In other words, it was a bad throw. He had one of those slide in, bounce up type slides, whereas he was ready to throw it in overdrive on the first step.
Now, we know that the Cronins like listening in as there's a foul ball behind the plate, count even at 2 to Keith Griesaber. David seriously showing his speed out there. I want to say hello to his mom and dad, and I bet he gets that speed from his mom.
Well, I know they were here earlier, and
I guess that joke flew over the head.
Yes, it did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was,
you know, I only went to the 3rd grade, so don't give me that 5th grade stuff.
Keith has a 2-2 count after another foul ball. Infield in, swing and a miss. No, that ball was just foul. Sometimes those are hard to judge because the batter will make a full swing and you won't be able to hear anything, but the ball will roll behind. So it's either a drop third strike or a late, very late foul tip.
Right.
First baseman in Winningham in on the edge of the infield grass. And this pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Count moves to 3-2 to Keith Griesaber. Otters had David Cronin at first. He led off and was ruled safely on an error by the second baseman, Beck. The 3-2 will be a foul once more.
Well, you know, Keith has 3 options. Get a base hit to bring the run in, get a sacrifice fly to bring the run in, or hit it to second base, and we should score a run.
Well, hopefully we get it through the infield.
Well, either way, but you should hit it to the right side of the field.
Fly ball, foul territory on the first base side. Winningham will make the catch for out number 1, right on the first base line.
Yeah. See, in that case, Dave, you always want to, that's what you practice in batting practice. You know, they say, okay, now hit the right field, hit the right, you know, protect the runner, so on. Anytime you got to run around third and you hit that ball to second base, hopefully the runner's going to score.
Well, to the plate is Ryan Long. Now, Ryan picked up his 20th and 21st RBIs. You said, when we check our notes, that Ryan hasn't hit a home run since May 28th.
Right.
I think he's due.
And I tell you what, Cunningham is playing up and now he's moving. I'm going to say, how crazy can you be?
I don't know why.
I mean, you cut down your range, but at the same token, the way Ryan swings, he's liable to take his ears right off.
Swing and a miss, and Ryan Long has a quick 0-2 count.
Well, that
good breaking pitch there from Kenny Matthews, the pitcher.
I'm going to say that was a pretty sharp slider, and Ryan reached for it. It was way outside, but very deceiving.
0-2 the count to Long. Fly ball, center field.
That's an
will
RBI.
Be caught, but now Cronin will go to the plate, and he will not be tagged. Ball doesn't get there in time. A sac fly there for Ryan Long. Otters on the board.
And I tell you what, Ryan come through, again, another RBI. That's why he leads the team. But let's give credit to that center fielder. What a throw he had. I mean, Fulton just stood at home plate, and it was a one-hop right to his glove.
Now, that was Mesa, the guy who reached on the bunt earlier in the inning.
I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good throw.
So with 2 outs, Otters have a 1-0 lead thanks to the sacrifice fly from Ryan Long, his 22nd RBI in the season. And we'll bring up Carlos Castro. First pitch to Carlos will be a line drive on the left side of the infield, a base hit. Rounding first, he'll stop and go trot back to first. Carlos is on a hit parade since the road trip in Chicago.
I'm going to say he's probably the hottest batter on the Otter team right now. He always seems to get 1 or 2 hits per game.
Well, in Carlos's last 9 games, he's hitting .378, 14 hits, 5 RBIs, and 7 runs.
And he's eliminated a lot of the strikeouts. He used to strike out quite a bit, reaching for that ball that was out of the zone, but now he's kind of disciplined.
Rob Calabrese to the plate. Lefty pitcher against the right-handed batter in matchup. Rob will take a ball outside. Castro on first. Otters up 1-0 after the sac fly RBI from Ryan Long. Next pitch is low and outside. Count it 2-0.
You know, I'm just thinking now, if that ball wasn't as deep as it was that Ryan hit, the way that guy played that ball and threw it, it was such a perfect. If it was shorter, he might have been thrown out at home plate.
The 2-0 will be foul behind the plate. Count moves to 2-1 to Calabrese, the Tottenville, New York native.
You got to ask him, can he look across the river there and see my hometown South Amboy?
South Amboy?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, all he has to do is look across the river.
Okay.
It's called the Rat River.
Mm-hmm. Next pitch to Rob, called strike on the outside. Count even at 2. It was the upper right-hand part of the strike zone. Matthews allows the 1 run on the sac fly, but he is a really good pitcher this year. The 2-2, low in the dirt. Fulton finds it. Castro doesn't go. Count now will be full.
The Rat River, that's where Hess Oil has those big tankers come in from the Atlantic Ocean. The Rat River is the Atlantic Ocean. And you've got Hess's oil, big tankers come in and dock there.
Oh, Hess, like the Hess truck.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
All right.
Yes. For what, $1 or $2 it used to be at Christmas time?
I think so.
Yeah.
It used to be. I don't know if it is now.
Yeah.
There's a fly ball in the infield and will be caught by the second baseman, Beck. Otters strike first. Cronin led off, and reached on an error. Stole second, stole third, and reached home on a sac fly from Ryan Long. We're through 1. We head to the top of the second. 1-0 Otters the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball, 91.5 WUEV, and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
love it when I birth them. Takes some pressure off.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters up 1-0 after the sac fly RBI from Ryan Long. Jake Welch on the mound, looking for his first win as an Otter this year. He'll face Shane Carrier, Trey Fulton, and Randy Perez.
Yeah, and the Otters benefited by 2 errors in that inning. You know, number one, getting David Cronin on with an error, and then David closed the second one when the catcher threw it in center. So I guess you give Cronin the RBI.
At least a run,
Yeah.
a run scored.
Yeah.
Carey has a 1-0 count after a first pitch ball from Welch. The next one, fly ball, left center field. Meggs will be there to make the catch for out number 1.
Meggs had that under his radar all the time. You know, the next time you talk to the Cronins, you want to ask them if they're relatives of Joe Cronin. Used to be a major leaguer manager, and I think it was commissioner. I know he was with the Red Sox.
Okay. Well, I'll be speaking
Joe Cronin.
I'll be speaking to David tomorrow. He'll be my next guest on the Otters podcast.
Joe Cronin.
Trey Fulton to the plate. He's been the hot hitter this series for the Thunderbolts. First pitch to Fulton is a called strike on the outside corner. Righty on righty matchup.
I know.
Fulton, 4 for 8 in this series, Bill. 3 RBIs, 2 singles, 2 doubles.
Yep. Oh, he's been.
And an almost home run.
Yes. He has been the menace to the. Now, that was a good pitch there. That's a slider, but he didn't go for it. And that was a good pitch. But Cronin married into the Griffith family.
Okay.
So we ask again if they're relatives of the former owner of the Minnesota Twins.
All right. The 1-1 will be low in the dirt for a ball. Looks like another breaking pitch there from Welch.
Yeah.
Count moves to 2-1 to Trey Fulton. Now, I'm sure that Jake has paid attention to his scouting report, and he does not want to give this man in particular a pitch to hit.
I would jam him.
Calabrese looks like he'll set up outside. The 2-1 will be low outside for a ball. Count moves to 3-1.
And that's what you got, just what you called. It was an outside pitch. But guys like Fulton, I jam.
Want to make him feel uncomfortable in the box, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, let him hit it off the handle. Let him use his muscle to get a ball out.
3-1 will go foul down the third base line. I think that's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
That pitch was inside.
Yeah.
Count full to Trey Fulton.
Pitch him inside, and then when you got 2 strikes, then give him the low outside pitch.
He's batting .235 on the year.
That really?
Yep.
Oh my God, he's batting .400 against us, I think.
Bring that up to you in a moment. Yeah, .500.
Yeah.
Waltz with a deep breath on the mound. The payoff pitch. Just missing the strike zone, barely, and that is a walk to Trey Fulton. So back-to-back innings with 1 out. The second batter in the inning for the Thunderbolts gets on first. Perez to the plate. He was 2 for 3 yesterday. He has a single, a double, and a fielder's choice. Perez batting .154 on the year. Jake Welch on the mound for the Otters, searching for his first win of the season. First pitch from Welch is a strike as the batter, Perez, swung his bat all the way around home plate for strike 1.
Right.
He tried to check swing and hold it back, but I think his forward momentum was too late.
Yeah.
The 0-1, low in the dirt. Looks like a slider there from Welch. Count at 1-1 with 1 out.
Most of the time, Dave, you watch the hips. When the hips open up, generally he's gone halfway.
Okay. Double play depth for Gould and Cronin at short and second. Ground ball on a hop to long. Throws to second for 1 to first in time for the 5-4-3 double play. A pitcher's best friend.
Yes, sir.
We'll head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Otters. You're listening to the Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Signorama Evansville for their support this season. Signorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Signorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at signorama.com/in-Evansville. Signorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters up 1-0 after a sac fly RBI from Ryan Long. Kenny Matthews on the mound for his second inning of work. Will face Mike Rizzatello, Jack Meggs, and Justin Irby for 6, 7, and 8. Rizzatello, our pregame interview, talking about his New York toughness, his preparation for fitness and nutrition, as well. Overall, he's just glad to be back in the lineup and contributing.
Right. And last night, or yesterday afternoon, his last at bat, he drove that ball 390 feet. And that could have easily have tied the game up.
Next pitch to Riz, outside for a ball. First pitch was a strike on the inside corner. He's got an even count at 1 here in the bottom of the second. The 1-1 be a called strike 2 to Rizzatello. Sometimes there are pitches he doesn't like, and therefore I don't think that's why he'll swing at it.
Well, that's my only complaint against Mike. He takes
he's aware.
Too many strikes.
He's aware.
He listens to me.
He listens to you, yes. Very intently. He'll take a low-pitch ball, count even at 2. He wanted me to let you know that he does listen to the broadcast. So.
Oh, okay.
But he appreciates you.
Well, again, I think he's a good ball player. He should have been a regular catcher last year.
The 2-2. Inside for a ball. So a count that started at 0-1 is now full.
Yeah.
And Rizzatello will be looking for a pitch to hit.
He generally hits the center or left. That's where he generally hits.
The payoff pitch. Fly ball, and that will drop for a single. Right center field. And going to first base will be Mike Rizzatello. Another single for him on the year.
Right. Now, last year he opened up with a double, and another double, and a triple, and a home run. And he had 10 hits, and I think 5 to 6 of those hits were out of that 10 were all extra base.
Well, it'll bring up Jack Meggs. The Otters, for the second time this game, have a leadoff base runner to start the game. And we want to wish a special hello to his mom, Mother Teresa, who's listening in, and she enjoys your commentary, Bill.
Oh, well, I'm not going to make any. I don't know.
The first pitch to Jack as he shows bunt. He'll pull his bat back, and it's a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah.
So Jack went to the University of Washington. Where he lives is located outside of Seattle, and his father is the head coach at the University of Washington baseball team. The 0-1 to Jack will show bunt again. The ball will go foul behind the catcher Fulton, moving the count quickly to 0-2.
Well, if they're They're listening. I used to stay at the Holiday Inn downtown when I was scouting Seattle when they had that. I used to love to go to Seattle. They have a wonderful market.
Oh, yes, the fish market.
Yes. Oh, it's great.
Where they throw the fish, right?
Yes,
there we go.
Yes.
The 0-2. Called strike 3 to Jack Meggs. Not liking that pitch. He'll head back to the Otters dugout. There's one away. To the plate will be Justin Irby, who was 1 for 3 yesterday in his first game as an Otter. He singled in his second at-bat.
Yeah, he has a quick bat. We discussed that yesterday. But as quick as his bat is, his timing has to be as well to coordinate with the speed of the bat.
Runner on first for the Otters. Swing and a miss there from Irby on a breaking ball there from Kenny Matthews, the lefty.
I tell you what, I mean, he's got one of the quickest swings you ever want to see. But his timing is wrong. No, timing is bad.
I think it'll come with time.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, you got to see a lot of live pitches if this is his first opportunity to see live pitching. Batting practice helps, but when you're in batting practice and you get a 50-mile-an-hour fastball and then you run the game and you get a 90, it's a little different.
0-2 the count quickly to Irby. The pitch. That'll be outside, just a bit outside for a ball. Count at 1-2. So a swinging miss for strike 1. A called strike 2 in the inside corner. Matthews really working the corners. The Otters are leading 1-0. Rizzatello led off the inning with a single. Line drive, a base hit on the left side of the infield. Second hit of the season for Irby. Otters have runners on first and second. Sometimes I think batters will have that quick swing to get that first pitch fastball, or if they see a fastball.
Well, in that particular case, it was an off-speed pitch, and he just slowed his bat down so he made contact. He didn't have that home run swing, and that's why it was a pretty good shot there to left field.
J.J. Gould to the plate. He's batting 190 on the year, 4 RBIs. The man from Florida attended Jacksonville University. Grew up in Florida his whole life. First pitch to J.J. is a called strike on the inside corner. We got another right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher Matthews in the matchup. Runners on first and second for the Otters. There's one away here in the bottom of the second. Will be next pitch foul behind the catcher Fulton. The count now is at 0-2.
Ben Garrity used to manage Jacksonville. It was a Class A farm team for the Braves, the Boston Braves, and Ben Garrity.
Next pitch, just a bit outside. Count at 1-2 to J.J.
Who was from Somerville, New Jersey, in case you're interested. And he coached or managed baseball down in Puerto Rico. And he had this young bat boy that he used to throw batting practice. His name was Juan Pizarro. I don't know if you remember that name.
I don't think so.
Okay.
The 1-2 to J.J. will be another foul down the third base line. Will drift towards the Windy City dugout. Count remains at 1-2.
He was like 16 years old. He threw batting practice as the bat boy for Ben Garrity down there. And Ben signed him and brought him to spring training. And they wanted to put him in the major leagues right away.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. I think it was that high fastball right there that J.J. fell for. That'll be strike 3 and out number 2.
Anyway, Bob Coleman, who was the manager of Evansville Braves here, actually, in essence, he really was the Braves. Bob Coleman determined who would play where and when and how. So he was Mr. Brave, to be honest. And he said, no, he's not going to the majors. He's going to A-ball. And Juan Pizarro, they were fielding bunts one day, and he didn't get off the mound, and they were chastising him.
First pitch to Cronin is a swing and a miss. And eventually it'd be called a foul tip. Count at 0-1.
And they were telling him, you got to get off the mound and field it. And he said, me no field bunt, me strike him out. me no field bunt, me strike him out.
So a selfish pitcher, it sounded like.
Well, the next year he was in the majors.
Okay. Next pitch is low in the dirt. Runners go as the catcher Fulton was unable to find the ball that was thrown by his pitcher, Kenny Matthews.
Yeah.
So now runners on second and third. Rizzatello at third. Irby at second. There are 2 outs here. Bottom of the second. David Cronin reached on an error back in the first. He has an opportunity to get an RBI right here.
Well, 2, possibly. I mean, runners on second and third. You look where the outfield is playing, center and right. Left fielder's a little shallow, but right field and the center field a little deep. So anything that's through the infield, I'm sure, I'll bet the ranch both runs could score.
I would agree. There's a big hole on the left side of the infield between shortstop and third.
Yeah.
You could probably fit a few trucks over there. Line drive, and that will drop for a base hit. 1 run scores. Irby around third. He will score. To second standing with a 2-run RBI double is David Cronin. Puts the Otters with a 3-0 lead.
Single or double?
Trying to wait for the official scoring on David Cronin's hit, but a 2-run RBI nonetheless.
Yeah, 2 RBIs, but it was a signal. He went to second base, Dave, on the throw home. So he advanced on the throw, not so much the double. However, he's got, oh no, Keith, my God, Cronin had third base stolen before the ball even left the pitcher's hand.
But unfortunately, Cronin has to trot back as Keith Griesaber, the batter, hits a foul ball down the first base line. David had a great jump.
Oh, did he? I mean, like I say, he was at least 20 feet away from third base before the pitcher released the ball.
So Dave will catch a quick breather, and the next pitch will be inside for a ball. Count even at 1 to Griesaber. Otters scored 1 in the first, thanks to the bat of Ryan Long. He's on deck. And 2 more here in the second off the bat of David Cronin. The 1-1. Ground ball on the left side of the infield will be hit through sharply by Swiss, the third baseman, and he'll get it to Winningham for out number 3. Otters tack on 2 more off the bat of David Cronin, a 2-run RBI single that he extended to second base after the throw from center field. We are through 2 here at Bosse Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network on 91.5 WUEV.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in the Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Game.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Another smooth introduction as we head to the top of the third. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Evansville Otters baseball, they lead the Windy City Thunderbolts by a score of 3-0 off the bats of Ryan Long and David Cronin.
Well, David Cronin actually is accounted for almost all of the scoring insofar as, he knocked into 2, but he's the one that scored the other. So, actually, he's 3 for 3 in a way.
To the plate will be Jordan Swiss, the third baseman. First pitch to Swiss from Jake Welch will be a ball just outside. Good breaking pitch there by Welch, but the count is at 1-0.
I'll tell you, we got a great crowd here tonight with that Thirsty Thursday beer.
Next pitch is foul down the third base line. Go ahead, Bill.
And do you smell the barbecue or whatever is the hamburgers cooking?
I can smell that literally right behind us.
I tell you what, so if you're out there in the car, stop off, come out to the game and get a beer and get one of those hamburgers and then enjoy a wonderful, wonderful game.
Next pitch, ground ball, fielded by Cronin. Goes over to first in time for out number 1.
I tell you, Mr. Jordan really ran down that base path. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to change the subject for a second. There's a gentleman sitting down in front of us, number 33 there, Swisher. Can you see him right here?
Yes.
He's got a baseball jersey on and says Swisher in the back.
Yep.
And one of the first ball games I ever saw in the major leagues was the New York Giants playing the Cubs. Back in
first pitch to Blair Beck is a fastball for a called strike on the inside corner. Count at 0-1.
And I don't know, it was 1939, 1940, one of those years. And it was a doubleheader. Sundays, they always had doubleheaders in those days.
The 0-1 be inside for a ball this time. Count even at 1 to Blair Beck, who is 1 for 6 in the series, has a single and 2 strikeouts.
Every time he came to bat, the fans would yell, swish, swish. And after a while, I said, what are they yelling that for?
The 1-1, check swing. Beck does not bring his bat around home plate. Would be ruled a ball. Count at 2-1.
They said, well, they call swish because he swings all the time and misses it. So it's a swish, he's a strikeout. Well, it was a doubleheader that day, and he hit 3 home runs. And I often wondered, they ought to change that logo. But
So the jersey he's wearing as the 2-1 from Welch will be foul behind the plate. Count even at 2 to Blair Beck. That is Nick Swisher, and that is most likely a New York Yankees Nick Swisher jersey.
Oh,
so when the Yankees won the World Series over the Phillies in 2009, they went out and got CC Sabathia, A.J. Burnett, and they got Nick Swisher to supplement their pitching and offense. Swing and a miss on a good breaking pitch there from Welch. Another strikeout, and there's 2 away here in the top of the third.
Mr. Mesa went down, a beautiful throw from the outfield, and got a base hit. But, I didn't know. It looks like a Yankee uniform when you think of it. Yeah.
So he played for the Yankees, won a ring, and then he went to the Cleveland Indians, and I believe he was in Oakland, if I'm not mistaken. I got to double-check his baseball reference.
Okay.
I know that vividly watching my Phillies lose the World Series after winning it in 08. Tyler Straub to the plate. We're back at the top of the order for the Thunderbolts. Struck out back in the first.
Well, Herbie's out there shielding the sun. David Cronin's shielding the sun.
Check swing. Rolls down the first base line.
Just tag
Castro
him.
Will tag the runner in time for out number 3. That inning was rather quick for Jake Welch.
Well, it was a half a swing. So made contact and stayed on in the infield. So it was one of those excuse me's.
So we'll head to the bottom of the third. Otters up 3-0. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Bottom of the third, Otters up 3-0. Ryan Long to the plate. He is responsible, or partly responsible, for the first run of the game. Had a sac fly back in the first that scored David Cronin. First pitch to Ryan will be a ball inside. Count at 1-0. Lefty on lefty matchup. Lefty Penny Matthews against the batter from Crandall, Texas. Next pitch to Ryan is a ball outside. Count moves to 2-0.
Glad Ryan stayed off that pitch. He generally chases that particular pitch right there.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
The 2-0 to Long. Line drive, right field, will be caught on Carrier for after one.
I tell you what, as long as Ryan is throwing the ball like he is, I know he's not getting base hits, but he's making good contact. The base hits will start falling in. Don't worry. He's making good contact. That's what counts. As a baseball scout, you don't look at batting averages. You look at contact. And he's doing it. He's a prospect.
Because numbers only show one thing. It's your responsibility to actually go to the game and see how this guy actually is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To the plate is Carlos Castro, who is on a hit parade. First pitch is a swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Matthews. Count at 0-1 to Carlos, who singled his first time up.
Carlos is a sucker for an off-speed pitch, which that was. I mean, he was so far out in front of it.
Matthews the 0-1. Low in the dirt for a ball. Carlos does not bite on that breaking ball.
Yeah.
Count even at 1 with 1 out.
You know, we talked about, Dave, the high fastball that people go after, and then also when you see a change, you just, it looks like a basketball. You're so far out in front.
Yep. Count even at 1 to the native of the Dominican Republic. The 1-1. Inside that ball. Count moves to 2-1 to Carlos Castro. He has 5 home runs on the year, so Ryan has 5, Carlos has 5, and Hunter Cullen has 5.
Connor has been playing. I wonder why.
I think it's swing and a miss from Carlos Castro. Count even at 2. I think because Irby's given his opportunities, they're going to keep Keith in left, and they moved Meggs to center.
Well, we got one of the best center fielders in the game, and 5 home runs. My God. Give someone else a chance, but don't take him out of the lineup. But anyway, Andy's managing.
Count even at 2. The pitch to Carlos. Fly ball,
Base
and
hit.
that will drop into center field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles for Carlos Castro. He's 2 for 2.
And again, that nice, easy swing. Not a hard home run swing. Just meet the ball, put it in play, and they'll fall.
To the plate will be Rob Calabrese. He flied out to second base his last time up on a weak pop-up in the infield.
Yeah.
Tottenville native coming into today's game was batting .308. He's 2 for 7 in the series. Both singles, 1 yesterday and 1 on Tuesday. The pitch. Fly ball will go foul into the seats on the first base side. Counted 0-1.
You know, for him to leave his area, he had to cross the outer bridge, the Goethals Bridge, or the Was it Van?
Tappansy?
Tappansy. No, Tappansy was, that's going into New York, Connecticut.
The Verrazano.
Yeah, the Verrazano.
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 Count it 0-2 to Calabrese. Runner on first and Carlos Castro. They got the New York guys batting back-to-back. 0-2, low and away for a ball. Count at 1-2.
You notice this guy, that was that change. You notice he's been very, very effective with that change he's throwing. And, again, anyone's got an outstanding change is going to be a winner.
The 1-2, fly ball, left field. Going back is Mesa, and he will make the catch at the warning track for out number 2. And going back to first base is Carlos Castro, avoiding the double up. So Calabrese hit that ball arguably to the deepest part of Bossy Field, and it was just out.
You had Mike, who's coming up now, hit at the same spot. So you have two catchers from New York hitting the same area, and both, the center fielder ran it down. So they're competing against each other.
Well, when they're both hitting well, you can put one at DH if necessary.
Yeah.
Like Rizzatello tonight, the designated hitter, takes a called strike on the outside corner. Count it 0-1 to the, how'd you pronounce his hometown?
I'm not going to say right now.
Okay.
I'm keeping that in reserve.
Okay. Called strike makes the count 0-2. The Ronkonkoma. That's what it is. Ronkonkoma. 0-2 the count to Riz. The pitch. Ground ball to the pitcher.
Base hit.
Can't
Base
find
hit.
it.
Base hit. Base hit.
Rizzatello will eke it out. Hit pocket high socket down the first base line.
Oh, you know how many times have I told you this year so far, pitchers are supposed to field their position, but sometimes they ought to leave the ball alone. And now we saw it the other day, a deflection off the pitcher was a base hit. Now here, Mike gets a base hit because...
Are we sure it's a base hit?
Oh, certainly it has to be. Yeah, sure it is.
Okay. I didn't want to make the incorrect call.
Well, I didn't either, but I mean, I'm using my...
Intuition?
Intuition. Besides, I looked down to see what the official score.
Okay. Jack Meggs to the plate. He struck out back in the second.
Now, his mother's Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
Okay, so we got that straight.
Yes. She looks forward to meeting you on her trip to Evansville.
Oh, my God. Okay.
You're becoming very popular, Bill.
Oh, well.
First pitch to Jack is a called strike on the outside corner. Count at 1-1. Runners on first and second. Single by Castro. A single by Rizzatello. A hard single by Rizzatello. The 1-1 outside for a ball. Count moves to 2-1. We got the lefty on lefty matchup. Meggs from Sammamish, Washington, was drafted by the Oakland Athletics organization last year. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. There's that high fastball right there, Bill, for strike 2.
Yeah, and like I said, everybody chases it. It's a good pitch.
The good thing about Jack is he has good speed. He leads the Otters in stolen bases with 10.
And he's a pretty good outfielder. I'll say that. He can go get him.
He can play all three outfield positions.
When he has.
Next pitch, breaking ball from Matthews in the dirt. Count now full.
I was reading before the game that he played X amount in right field, X amount in left field, and X amount in center field. So, as you say, he's a pretty good outfielder.
The payoff pitch to Meggs. Ground ball to the second baseman, Beck. Will throw over to first in time for out number 3. Otters leave 2 men stranded as we are through 3. To the top of the 4th we go. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
You're teasing David at ball.
Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
They got a big billboard out here.
The 4th Annual Burdette Blues Festival on Saturday, July 6th at the Burdette Park Pavilion will feature some of the best blues acts in our area. There'll be barbecue, food trucks, and a beer garden. General admission at the gate will provide ongoing support for blues music in the tri-state. 12 years and younger will get in free. For more information, check out the 91.5 FM WUEV Facebook page or visit evansvilleblues.com.
And Bill McCune on the call. Top of the 4th, Otters up 3-0. Sac fly RBI by Ryan Long, and then a 2-run RBI single by David Cronin. Jake Welch looking good on the mound thus far. He's out for his 4th inning of work, allowing 1 hit thus far. To the plate will be Mesa, who had the bunt single in the 1st. Righty on righty matchup, the pitch. Ground ball hit right at Carlos Castro. Played that on the edge of the infield grass. That's the first base bag for out number 1. Carlos played that perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah, he was playing in for a possible bunt, and it was a perfect ground ball to him.
Bring up Dash Winningham. 0 for 6 in the series.
Yeah, that was an off-speed again. Both pitchers are throwing a lot of off-speed pitches.
So that looked more like a changeup right there.
Well,
next pitch. That was definitely a fastball from Welch, just missing the strike zone. Count even at 1.
I would say you're right insofar as it was a change.
Welch from the right side of the rubber. Agrees with a sign from Calabrese, the pitch. High fastball. Winningham falls for it, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Right. You know, if you look at the Bud Light Lime patio, it's full. You look at the tent down the left field, it's full. All of the box seats along the 3rd and 1st are full. My God, you've got a good crowd here. And a strike. Oh, no, it wasn't a strikeout.
It'll be a foul ball down the 3rd base line. Count remains at 1-2.
Yeah, I didn't see the ball ricochet. I just saw the swing. Terrible swing.
Winningham played for the New York Mets organization last year.
Right.
From Ocala, Florida. The 1-2. Fly ball, and it will be foul once more down the 3rd base line. That'll be the 4th pitch of the at-bat. We'll head to the 5th.
I think George Steinbrenner used to keep his horses down there at Ocala.
Oh, yeah?
That's horse country in Florida.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. A friend of mine attended Barry University, and his friend had a horse. Ground ball goes through the diving J.J. Gould at shortstop. That's a base hit. The first hit of the series for Dash Winningham here in the top of the 4th.
Well, I had my own horse when I was a kid. Tip-top. Yes, I did. No, I used to be afraid of him. He used to buck all the time, and my father said, stay on him, stay on him. And I was ready to jump off every time he bucked. You know, the back legs would come up in the air.
Oh, you got to be afraid of those. You can't.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side if you're behind the hindquarters of a horse. The hind legs of a horse.
The one thing I learned is you always got to tighten that saddle, because what they do is they blow their stomach up. So when you put, you tighten it, and then all of a sudden they let it out, and you fall off the saddle.
0-1 the count, and that pitch hits him.
Hit them. 35.
Alamo, the batter, had a first pitch called strike on the inside corner. Next pitch hits him. Now there are runners on first and second with one out for the Thunderbolts here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, we need, as you say, a pitcher's delight would be a double play.
Pitcher's best friend?
Yes, what it is, yeah.
Calabrese walks out on the mound to settle down his pitcher, Welch, the 6'6" right-hander from New York. And it'll bring up Shane Carrier, who hit a solo home run yesterday to tie the game at 1.
Yeah.
Carrier also a good friend of Patrick McGuff's.
Yes. The Irishman.
Yep.
Patty.
I hope he's enjoying Montana. He's out there in Missoula. Fly ball, left field will drop for a base hit. Holding at third as there's a good strike there from Keith Griesaber. Holds the runners, but now the bases are loaded with one out here in the top of the fourth. A golden opportunity for the Thunderbolts, and they have just the man to do it here in Trey Fulton.
Oh, my God, yes. Look who's coming. I mean, last night, here we have a 1-1 game, and all of a sudden he hits that.
Dribbled it. It was a shot that was
down, hugged the third base line.
Yep.
Ryan couldn't get to it because, again, it was too far. And here 2 runs score, and we lose 3-1.
Waltz in a jam right here. Gould and Cronin at double play depth. Long and Castro behind their respective first and third base bags.
That was a slider.
First pitch, strike for a slider.
Yeah.
Counted 0-1, 1 out. Bases loaded. The New York to New York pitcher-catcher battery on the mound for the Otters. Calabrese will set up outside. The pitch just missing the outside corner. Count even at 1.
That was another breaking pitch.
That was going to be my first assumption.
Yeah. Well, you know what you want to do. Sometimes they're weak. If they're weak with the curveball, throw 5 curveballs. Don't give in to the hitter. Just keep throwing them.
I think the slider might be effective in this at-bat, too.
Right.
The 1-1.
Ooh.
Good block there by Calabrese.
I tell you what a bite that slider had. My God. I mean, thank God Calabrese got it. Otherwise, a run would have scored.
Yep. 2-1 the count.
You know,
bases loaded.
One thing I got to
give
out. Calabrese credit for, he always goes out and talks to the pitchers. That's a catcher's job.
Waltz from the right side of the rubber, the 2-1. Fly ball, left field. Griesaber plays it, rifle over to home, and good arm there by Keith Griesaber to hold Winningham at third. That was a cannon.
Oh, yeah, and if you notice how he played it, he took a step back, he judged it, and then came in running, which, again, he had his momentum going home, and that's what a good outfielder does. When you size up that fly ball, you want to maybe take a step back, which he did, then get your horse running forward so your body is going, you get a good throw. He did everything right.
We got an athletic infielder out there in left field, not afraid to play the outfield.
Right.
He said the last time he played outfield was his freshman or sophomore year of college. Randy Perez to the plate. First pitch is high and outside for a ball. So Keith Griesaber not only made the catch out there in left field for out number 2, but the throw to home was on the money, and the runner Winningham did not go from third. 1-0 the count to Randy Perez, who's hitting .250 on the year. Fly ball, right field. Irby will make the catch for out number 3. Welch out of another jam. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 3-0 Otters to score, and you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in the Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Game.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
Line drive, and that will drop for a base hit. 1 run scores. Irby round third. He will score. To second standing with a 2-run RBI double is David Cronin. Puts the Otters with a 3-0 lead. The Evansville Otters baseball, Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Otters up 3-0. David Cronin with that highlight that we heard seconds before. 2-run RBI, and Ryan Long with a sac fly back in the first. To the plate will be Justin Irby, who just made that catch out there in right field, in the top of the fourth. Then J.J. Gould, followed by the top of the order, and David Cronin.
And here comes Irby, who got a base hit his last time up, right over short. And he didn't take that hard, quick, fast swing he did. He just met the ball.
Yep.
That's what we talk about, timing.
From Virginia Beach, Justin Irby. He takes a called strike on the inside corner. Count at 0-1. Now, one of the things I think Irby has learned from, he's taking a lot of BP, the 0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. But Irby's roommate on the road is Ryan Long.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So I'm sure there have been a handful of conversations both of them have had.
Yeah.
And Irby, being a first-year guy for the Otters, has picked Ryan's brain. He'll swing and a miss for strike 3. But I think we do need to applaud how quick the bat speed is from him. And it's only a matter of time with more at-bats that he'll be able to adjust.
Right, yeah. And he just went after one of those high pitches to strike out. You know, you're right, because as Ted Williams said to Joe Gordon, he said, yeah, Joe, if the pitcher's throwing at a 90-degree angle, your bat has to be at a 90-degree angle. and Joe Gordon, on the way back to the dugout, said, can you imagine that? I used to worry about seeing the ball, not the angle.
Fly ball, left field. Going back is Straub, and he makes the catch for out number 2. J.J. Gould lifted that ball at least 380 feet to left field. It's unfortunate that it was caught, because if that goes to the wall, that's at least a double.
Yeah. But the left fielder played it well. If you noticed the way he just glided over there, he had it under his radar screen all the time. So
it'll bring up Mr. Cronin, who is 1 for 1 today with a run scored, reaching on an error in the first, and then they had the 2-run RBI single after further review. He went to second base on the throw from center field to home plate.
Right.
First pitch to Dave is a ball low. Count at 1-0.
The main thing, Dave, is he ended up on second base. No matter how he got there, whether it was the train or the plane, he got there.
I think we heard the train earlier before the game started.
Yes, at 5 o'clock. I was going to say something about that. Right. Welcome to the train.
Have you seen the movie My Cousin Vinny?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I don't see movies unless they're about 30 years old on TV.
Okay, that's fair. The 1-0 ground ball over to second. Fielded nicely by Beck. Throws it over to first to Winningham in time for the 4-3 putout. 1-2-3 go the Otters. Kenny Matthews has a quick fourth. We'll head to the top of the fifth. 3-0 Otters to score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
That woman used to be our usher. Now she's at every ball game. College professor.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, the call. We're in the top of the 5th. To the plate will be Swiss, who has yet to have a hit on the season, followed by Beck and Tyler Straub at the top of the order. Jordan Swiss to the plate, and he's had a couple good throws from the third base side in the infield. Walsh on the mound. His first pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. Count at 0-1. Righty on righty matchup. Sunset here at Bossy Field. Bud Light Thirsty Thursday. Swing and a miss right there on a slider. A biting slider there from Jake Welch. Count at 0-2.
The right place.
And at the right time.
At the right time. Now come back with the same pitch.
The 0-2 will be a base hit up the middle for Swiss. It's his first hit of the season.
And that was, I'm going to say, a curveball that didn't have much velocity. It was up into his letters, and he just muscled that for a base hit.
Gets the souvenir thrown back into the Thunderbolts dugout.
Oh, his first hit in pro ball.
Yep.
Oh.
At least first hit this year, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Blair Beck to the plate. Calabrese threw out his mask, gave out signals to the infield. Gould and Cronin, they're good buddies, by the way. They are inching towards second base and double play depth. The first pitch from from Welch, is a ball inside to Blair Beck. When talking to JJ on the road trip to Chicago, he said it's important, as the throw over to first is not in time, but it's important to have good chemistry if you're a shortstop and second baseman.
Oh, yes.
Especially when you want to turn double plays.
Oh, yes.
And with them being a good pairing last year, the chemistry that they have only increased into this year. Throw over down to first, and Calabrese with a quick arm down to Castro. Tag not in time on Jordan Swiss, counted 2-0.
I'm not sure. I'm going to say it was 52. You had Bobby Malcolmus at second and Felix Mantilla at short here at Evansville. The following year, they were in Jacksonville. The following year, they were in the majors.
Oh, wow.
Because
swing and a miss there.
Because
counted 2-1.
What you just said is they had that combination. Each one knew exactly what each one's going to do, and they both advanced at the same time. Bobby Malcolmus and Felix Mantilla.
2-1 the count. Top of the 5th, 3-0 Otters. The pitch. Fly ball in the shallow outfield. Cronin, now Meggs, will say he will make the catch for out number 1. Meggs was on his horse right there from center field.
Well, it was Meggs' catch. Even though Dave Cronin went out there, it's always better to have the fielder coming in rather than the fielder going back.
Got it. 2 away. Excuse me, that's 1 away. Straub, the batter. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and an unassisted out in the third. Runner on first is Jordan Swiss, and Welch will rifle that one over to Castro. Tag not in time. Still 1 out. Sunset here at Bossy Field. Bud Light Thirsty Thursday. Discounted Bud Light drafts. The first pitch, swing and a foul ball down the third base side. Counted 0-1.
I think this is the best crowd we've had so far this year. I mean, really, we've got a beautiful crowd here. I don't know if they came for the ball game or for the Thirsty Thursday.
Maybe both.
Well, maybe. I hope they're eating those hamburgers because they're good.
Oh, they smell fantastic.
Yes.
0-1 the count to Straub the pitch. Just a bit outside. Calabrese shakes his head in a yes notification, saying that Welch should throw that pitch later on.
Yeah.
It was called a ball, so the count will be even at 1. Runner on first. The 1-1. Ground ball over to long at third to Cronin for 1. Back to first. Another 5-4-3 double play.
I tell you.
We head to the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 Otters the score. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The tri-state area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is fueling the American spirit.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
91.5 WUEV Evansville.
And Bill McCune on the call. We're at Sunset here at Bossy Field on a beautiful night. Thirsty Thursday. Got a great crowd on hand. A lot of people throughout the entirety of the stadium, including the outfield and the Bud Light patio.
And a great game. Besides a great crowd, a great game.
3-0 Otters. First pitch to Griesaber is a foul ball behind the plate. Count at 0-1.
Joe,
we want to make a correction as we were talking to the score official earlier. Cronin is now 2 for 2 instead of 1 for 2. Or excuse me, he's 2 for 3 instead of 1 for 2. His first hit of the game is officially ruled a single now. Next pitch was a ball to Griesaber. Count at 1-1. The pitch. Line drive will be caught. A great catch there by Perez at short for out number 1.
you can't hit him any harder, but when you hit him directly at the man standing there, you don't stand a chance. That was a rocket off that bat.
It'll be Ryan Long to the plate.
Yeah.
And we got a handful of facts today, Bill.
What?
We got a Joe DiMaggio fact, a Ted Williams fact, and a Babe Ruth fact.
Go ahead.
First pitch to Ryan Long will be a ball low. Well, today Babe Ruth retired his number 3 at Yankee Stadium in front of 49,641 fans.
Oh.
The ailing Bambino is in attendance as a fly ball, foul territory down the first base line.
That's it.
Winningham will not make the catch. His second baseman Beck will for out number 2. But to finish up the fact, on this day, Babe Ruth was ill, but he attended the game as the Yankees retired his number, as well as the member of the 1923 Yankees squad. Now, you could probably know more than I do, but I'm pretty sure that 1923 Yankees team is one of the best in Major League history.
1927.
Okay.
That was the power hitter. They were the
was that the Murderers Row in 27?
That was it, 1927. Yes.
First pitch to Carlos Castro. Called a ball outside. Kind of want to know.
Yep.
So was Murderers Row, was that Babe Ruth?
And Lou.
And Lou Gehrig?
Yes.
Okay. DiMaggio not there yet? No. Okay.
I think DiMaggio...
I know DiMaggio was back and forth with Ted Williams.
Yeah, but I think DiMaggio was 39. He came in 39.
Okay. Called strike to Castro, makes the count even at 1. This next pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. Count at 1-2.
It was 1927, and Colonel Rupert, who was the manager of the, not the owner, but the manager of the, no, it wasn't. He was the owner.
Fly ball, left field, and will just drift foul.
And it's back in the field. Someone better pay attention. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Count at 1-2.
I can't think now. Anyway, Babe Ruth was ordered to bunt, and he hit a home run. And after he crossed the plate, the manager told me he was fined $500 because he was ordered to bunt and disobeyed. Now, $500 was a lot of money in those days.
Right. The 1-2 to Castro. Ground
That's
ball.
Fair
that
ball,
will be fair.
Ball.
Rolling all the way down the third base line to the wall in left field. And Carlos Castro stands at second base with a double. Carlos is 3 for 3.
3 for 3, and that ball was similar to Fulton's that won last night's ball game, or yesterday afternoon's ball game, where the third baseman didn't have a chance. I mean, when that goes down and hugs that line, I don't care who you are, you're not going to get that ball.
To the plate will be Rob Calabrese. He is 0 for 2 today. Maybe and hopefully third time will be a charm.
Well,
the last time he was at bat, he hit that ball to left center field in one of the deepest parts of the ballpark.
By the Ritzy sign out there.
Yes. The first pitch to Calabrese, inside for a strike 1. Right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher matchup.
Miller Huggins was the manager.
Okay.
I had to go back through the computer.
Got it.
In my mind.
Next pitch to Calabrese is a ball outside. Count even at 1. Castro with a two-out double. He's standing at second.
You know, just like Mike Rosatelli said, a catcher is a leader. And how true it was.
The 1-1. Low in the dirt. Castro goes off for third, and he is safe. Got to tell you, Andy McCauley, the Otters manager, really likes his aggressiveness. There have been times where it can cost him, but as of late, it hasn't.
I think it was a game on the road it cost them when someone was thrown out at third and they lost the game by 1 run. I don't remember which one. It was early in the season anyway.
Castro not afraid to get his uniform dirty. The 2-1. Inside for a ball.
Well, Castro was lucky because it was an off-speed pitch, and Fulton, the catcher, double pumped. He didn't have a clear shot down there at third, so he double pumped, and that, of course, allowed Castro to score. Go third safely.
3-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
That was a terrible swing. Calabrese wasn't ready for that one.
I think he knew it, too. He fell for that high fastball.
Yeah. when you walk out of that batter's box and you look and you say, why did I do that?
Castro at third. 3-2 the count. 2 outs. Bottom of the fifth. The payoff pitch. Fly ball. Left field. Going back is Straub. And that will be a home run. His 4th home run of the year. 2-run home run for Rob Calabrese. Extends the Otters lead to 5-0. Third time is the charm.
You called it, David. Yes, you did. You called it. And I kept watching that left fielder there running as hard as he could. And I didn't know if he had a chance or not, but it hugged the line. So I think that was really what threw everyone off was it fair or was it foul? And I looked at the umpire here in the home plate umpire, and he ran out in the field, and he gave the right-hand sign. It's fair.
And from one New York guy to another, Mike Rizzatello will approach the plate. Mike is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a run.
Oh, they were line drive signals. Oh, I mean, he ripped the glove right off the pitcher.
First pitch to Riz, ball low inside.
You know, it was 1956, and Bob Cohen was getting a cancer operation and was home recuperating. And I was...
Next pitch to Riz, foul ball down the first base line, out of play.
Marv Bates, who is a beautiful voice of the Braves, or everybody here, Marv Bates. And anyway, I hit one, and it went right through the pitcher's legs. And Marv Bates described that as a line drive into center. Bob Coleman complimented me, and he said, oh, my God, you really hit it. Yeah, Marv Bates made it a terrific hit.
Riz takes the ball outside. The 2-1. Fly ball, and that will go foul down the first base line. Count even at 2.
Marv Bates, what a man. In fact, Roger, the former fireman, was sitting down here in front of us, and we were commenting about Marv. What a broadcaster he was. You know, they had ticker tapes. They didn't go on the game on the road.
2-2, foul away.
And he'd be in the studio down there across from St. Vincent's Hospital on Washington, and you would be there. I mean, you'd be listening to the radio, and you'd swear Marv was at the game. He had all those contraptions.
2-2 will be caught there by Swiss on the hop. We'll throw it over to Winningham. There's a hard hit ball there by Riz, but the throw over from Swiss to Winningham is there in time. Otters on the board once more with a 2-run home run by Rob Calabrese. We'll head to the top of the 6th. 5-0 Otters the score. And you're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nolan and Bill McCune on the call. A 2-run blast by the Tottenville, New York native Rob Calabrese gives the Otters a 5-0 lead. As we're here in the top of the 6th, Dick Welch will pitch this one to Mason. And he lines that pitch into left field for a base hit.
He's got 2 of them. Few hits. They got 5 hits. He's got 2 of them. His first time up, he got a base hit.
There was that bunt base hit back in the first.
Right.
To the plate will be Dash Winningham. He had a single his last time up in the 4th. Welch got out of a bases loaded 1-out jam with a 5-4-3 double play in the 5th.
There were 2 double plays that got him out of jams.
First pitch will be lined down the right field line and just fell. I got to tell you, Winningham does have that power. He leads the Thunderbolts in home runs and RBIs with 17 and 6. Or 6 home runs, 17 RBIs. And he showed his power right there down the right field line.
Now, what's going on here? The third base coach, something's going on. The manager and the coach, and now a player is running in from the bullpen.
Line drive, and that will be caught by Keith Grieshaber in left field.
Double
Flashes
play?
the leather.
No.
And will be called out.
Oh, he is. Oh, my goodness.
Castro pumps his fist. Welch gives a shout out to Keith in left field. What a play.
You ain't kidding. Well, you know, I told you how they line up. You take a step back and then go forward and get your momentum going forward. And he threw a bullet right on the target. My God. And we were discussing what was going on there, and then all of a sudden someone's in the bullpen warming up for...
I got to tell you, things have been going right for the Otters tonight.
Oh, are they? Oh, you ain't kidding. They are.
Next pitch.
That's a double play, by the way. Mark that down. That's
I will.
the 3rd double play of the game.
Tyler Alamo to the plate. He was hit by a pitch from Welch's last time up in the 4th. The 1-0, swing and a miss on a slider right there. Count out 1-1. That was a great breaking ball there from Welch.
It was. It was.
It was nasty. 1-1 the count. Otters up 5-0. The pitch. Line drive to left field. Keith on his horse, and he will misplay the ball. The ball will roll all the way to the left center field wall. And standing on second base will be Tyler Alamo.
Well, that was difficult play, Dave. Notice he had to run as hard as he could, and the ball actually was tailing away. So, I mean, it was a difficult play, but he rebounded real quick and got that off the wall and held him to a double. Keith is playing a Super Bowl game.
That will be officially ruled a hit.
Yeah, it should be a double. There's no doubt about it.
It was off the tip of the glove of Keith, though.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
From my point of view, that is.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But,
I thought it was over his head.
Yeah, Preston was able to tell us that it was reviewed a double.
Well, he's got better eyes than us.
Fly ball, center field from Carrier. Meggs will make the catch for out number 3. Otters not afraid to flash the leather as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 5-0 Otters the score. And you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
He was running this way, and the ball was tailing away from him. That's why he overran it. I mean, he did overrun it, but it was one of those things. Unfortunate.
Well, I wonder.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Traveling bags, suitcases.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. I got to tell you, Bill, we've had some fantastic plays for the Otters, both at the plate and in the field. In a way, the Otters, as of now, are playing a collective great game.
I would say so, and I want to tell you, I mean, all right, that ball got over Keith's head out there, but he threw the ball for the double play. He threw several at home that prevented the runners from scoring. He played a great defensive game so far. All right, he overran it, but yet the wind helped carry it in the opposite direction too. So it's half and half.
Jack Meggs to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today, and maybe, like Calabrese, the third time will be a charm for him.
Well, let's hope so, because I don't want to say it, but...
First pitch to Jack will be foul and caught by Dash Winningham, making a leaping effort for out number 1.
Well, here comes Mr. Irby. We were talking about him last time up, and about his quick bat and so on and so forth, and he did chase with a 2-0-2 strikes. He did chase that bad high pitch.
Irby at the plate takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner from Kenny Matthews. Count at 0-1. Irby singled in the second, struck out in the fourth.
And made a nice catch in the field.
0-1 inside for a ball. Count even at 1. Yeah, he did an important one. I think.
Yes, it was.
I think there were runners in scoring position.
They were. Although the ball was in foul territory, he too.
Right. Oh yeah, by the swing and a miss from Irby, but the catch was made by the bullpen.
Yeah.
We are in nightfall here at Bossy Field. Beautiful night for baseball. We do have a really good crowd here tonight.
We have. I'm going to say the best we've had so far.
The 1-2 to Irby. Ground ball, we through the hole, a base hit on the left side. Irby, 2 for 3 tonight with 2 singles. Well, a single right here in the 6th with 1 out.
He didn't overswing on that one either. That's both of his hits have been normal swings instead of that quick snap swing he has.
To the plate, J.J. Gould, and maybe Irby's learning a thing or two from Ryan Long, being his roommate on the road.
I think that's the end of this guy.
Kenny Matthews, his night is done. We will go to a pitching change and a quick commercial break. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The local Pepsi bottling group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi bottling group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
He beat the
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We got a pitching change for the Windy City Thunderbolts. starter Kenny Matthews, his night is done. The new pitcher will be Justin Miller, the righty from Fresno, California, and he last played for the Philadelphia Phillies rookie ball affiliate, and I believe that is the Clearwater Threshers. Yeah. But you were finishing a thought, Bill.
I was just going to say the young man that just left, Mr. Matthews, you said earlier he two-hit
the
Otters his last time out.
Yep.
And right now he's given up 10 hits.
And 5 runs.
Okay.
J.J. Gould to the plate. His last time up, he hit a ball to deep left field at the wall. That was unfortunately caught by Tyler Straub. First pitch to J.J. as a call strike on the inside corner. Looked like a right-handed thrower in Miller, playing for the Phillies organization in Clearwater.
That's where the entire Philly organization has their spring training.
Yes, sir. I've heard it's pretty down there.
It is.
Next pitch from Miller is a ball low and away, evening the count at 1 to J.J. Gould. J.J. hitting 190, but he's not afraid to flash the leather at shortstop either. Irby on first. He's 2 for 3 tonight with 2 singles. 1-1 the count to J.J. The pitch. Irby goes, and that is a foul ball. Irby got a pretty good jump. Unfortunately, he'll have to go trot back to first.
Right, and he gave himself away. He's got to change his stealing process because the pitcher should have whipped it over there to first base, would have picked him out because he telegraphed he was stealing. You don't want to do that.
Well, Bill, the Otters, with it being the 25th anniversary, we have a lot of promotions this year. Tonight being Bud Light Thirsty Thursday, the 1-2 to J.J. is fouled down the first base line. We'll go at it again at 1-2. But on Saturday, we'll be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Otters officially.
Oh. Well, I know you like food, and after this thing, I'll tell you.
Okay. The 1-2, fly ball, right field, and that will be caught by Carrier for out number 2.
I know you like food, and you mentioned Clearwater. And just as you cross over the river and you're coming into Clearwater, they have a restaurant fish, and it's all-you-can-eat fish. And I think in those days it was like $7.95. And, oh, my God, I used to purposely leave. We would be staying in not Jacksonville. Oh, my goodness. Tampa. And we would go just go over to Clearwater to get that food.
Oh, I'm not a big fish guy, but I am expanding my palate in seafood.
Oh.
I do like salmon. I do like fish tacos. The first pitch, as Cronin shows bunt, is low and away for a ball. I'm trying to think. Grilled salmon's not too bad. I'll try everything at least once. So I'll take your recommendation on that if and when I travel to Clearwater.
Well, Jersey flounder. You can't beat that.
I like flounder, but I'm more of a meat kind of guy, a more steak, beef, chicken kind of guy.
Being from Jersey, you got to be a seafood man.
It's funny. I worked for a seafood vendor, and I really didn't like seafood. 2-0 the count to Cronin. Runner at first and Irby, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Otters up 5-0 on 10 hits. The pitch, low in the dirt for a ball. Irby decides not to go. He was guessing.
Yep, you don't hesitate.
I think he should have gone on that. If he had a good enough lead, I think he should have just taken off.
Right, if he had the good lead, yes. But when he hesitated and then jumped a couple feet and then he hesitated, and he was dead if he tried to go to second.
The 3-0 to Cronin. That's ball 4. Cronin works a walk. He is still 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a run scored, and 2 RBIs.
All right, 3 out of 4 times he's been on base. And drove in 2 of those runs and scored one of them. So
I think he set the tone back in the first when he got on.
Yes, he did.
And
he set the table.
That is the job of the leadoff hitter.
That's right.
Get on base any way you can, but I'm sure the 2 RBIs in the second are just as good for him, too.
Yeah.
Keith Griesaber to the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Fly ball, and that will be fouled down the first base line. Count at 0-1. Keith is 0 for 3 tonight. He has a flyout to first base, a 5-3 ground out, and a flyout to shortstop. But he flashed the leather back in the top of the sixth on that 7-3 double play, or the F7-7-3.
Yeah, that was a brilliant play. I mean, he timed it nice, and I thought he was safe. But again, our angle, I'm just happy it was an out. But it was a boom, boom play. And, of course, the umpires down in the field. We're up here in the press box.
The 1-1 to Grisaber. Swing and a miss. He falls for a breaking ball there for strike two.
There's that change. I mean, that thing that just about reached home plate, and he was so far out. He was swinging before. Oh, anyway.
Miller on the mound. He relieved Matthews in this inning. Miller last pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies organization, the Clearwater Threshers. Swing and a miss. Gets Grisaber to bite on a breaking ball for strike three. Otters leave two stranded as we head to the top of the seventh. 5-0 Otters. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. And if you recognize that jingle, Bill, it was to Center Field. The song Center Field by, I believe it's John Fogerty. And that song is in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank Sinatra didn't sing it, or Bing Crosby, I don't know anything about it.
But you know that song, put me in, coach, I'm ready to play.
That's right, I used to sing that.
Yeah.
I'll break up that rally.
Jake Welch on the mound. First pitch ball to Trey Fulton, the man who has hurt the Otters in this series thus far. Fulton today is 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout to Keith Grisaber. 1-0, fly ball, right field. Irby takes a few steps to his left and will make the catch for out number one.
I'll tell you, Mr. Irby looks a little more comfortable out there in right field than he did yesterday. I mean, today he seems to feel a little more comfortable, put it that way, more relaxed. Yesterday he was, I'm quite sure the butterflies are really flying in that stomach.
Sure. Yeah. Your first game, a day game, you get your first hit of the year, and only generates more confidence.
Yeah.
For the Virginia Beach native. Randy Perez to the plate. Perez is hitting 154 on the year. He grounded out into a 5-4-3 double play in the second, and then he flied out to Irby in the fourth. Ground ball over to Cronin. Fielded that nicely. Throws over to Castro in time for out number two. I got to tell you, Cronin, he's playing some good defense out there at second base. He shuffled over instead of making the flashy play with his glove behind his back. He just fielded it cleanly, put the glove on the dirt, and threw it over to Castro.
He fielded that like an infielder should. You're right. Get your body in front of the ball and step and throw. You're right. You see that backhand stuff. It hits the heel of the glove. It ricochets off. And
ground ball and caught by Cronin. That was a fly ball. Cronin moved a couple feet to his left. His reaction time was perfect and makes the catch for out number 3. But
no, I'm just going to say we didn't even get a chance to say anything. And boom, boom. It's Cronin and Cronin.
And we're now at stretch time here at Bossy Field.
And our elite PA announcer will sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
All right.
Zane.
We'll get back to Bossy Field after the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You listen to 91.5 WUEV and the Otters take on Network. 7 first time, get it on the work every day as you're driving the car.
Annual Burdette Blues Festival on Saturday, July 6th at the Burdette Park Pavilion will feature some of the best blues acts in our area. There'll be barbecue, food trucks, and a beer garden. General admission at the gate will provide ongoing support for blues music in the tri-state. 12 years and younger will get in free. For more information, check out the 91.5 FM WUEV Facebook page or visit EvansvilleBlues.com.
91.5 WUEV Evansville.
I don't know about you, Bill, but I want to rock. First pitch to Long. Foul ball down the first base line, out of play. We welcome you back to Evansville, Indiana. Historic Bossy Field. Otters up 5-0.
I would like to see Ryan hit one in the Bud Light patio.
0-1. Cold strike outside. Count it 0-2. Now, I think you've commented on this before, but to left-handed batters, that outside pitch is always one that'll get them.
That's right.
The 0-2. Check swing.
No, he didn't.
Drop.
Did he?
I'm confused here, but I guess there's a drop third strike. And Ryan will be thrown out at first for out number 1.
It was like an abbreviated swing. That's why I didn't think it was. I thought the umpire was asking for help from the first baseman.
So did I.
But I'm a little confused on it. But whatever it is, it's a strikeout.
Carlos Castro to the plate. Carlos is 3 for 3 today.
I know it.
2 singles, a double, and a run scored.
And that double was a shot down the third base. The line, it was that close. Keep getting mixed up between yesterday night and yesterday afternoon.
I'm not. I was in St. Louis to watch the Blues last night. My voice is a little hoarse from screaming last night. The first pitch to Castro is low and away for a ball. Count it 1-0. But I got to tell you, I've never seen, well, the last time I saw that many people was when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but 45,000 people just happy that their team was able to win a championship last night. 2-0 to count to Castro. The last pitch was in the dirt. The Dominican Republic played in the Braves organization. Next pitch is also low in the dirt for a ball. Count moves to 3-0.
You know, I think Henry Aaron is still a vice president of the Braves. A technical, what am I trying to say?
Kind of an advisor?
Well, I'm going to say just a position, recognizing his contribution to the Braves.
Got it. The 3-0 to Castro in the dirt. That is 4 straight pitches in the dirt to Carlos Castro. He works a walk. Well, Bill, today in 1957, Ted Williams becomes the first American leaguer to have 2 3-run home run games. 2 3-home run games in the season. 2 3 home run games.
The greatest hitter of all time.
Now, when you saw him, what was just your reaction when he went to the plate?
Well, let me just say this, okay? I'm going to tell you.
Calabrese to the plate, swing and a miss to Calabrese, counted 0-1. Rob hit a 2-run home run his last time up to give the Otters a 5-0 lead.
I was telling you about Joe Gordon and Ted Williams in that one conference they had. We were playing the Washington Senators, Kansas City Royals. And
pitch in the dirt. Castro goes to second without a throw.
And during batting practice, Ted Williams was taking batting practice. And, no, I'm sorry, it was a different situation. We were playing in Jacksonville. It was in Jacksonville. And it was 1954, I think. Anyway, Ted Williams was taking batting practice. The entire Boston team stood there and when the batters, we were playing.
Next pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Count moving to 2-1 to Calabrese.
You generally had like 10 swings, and the next guy gets in there and all that. And if you took 11 or 12, they'd say, hey, your hands are bleeding, get a Band-Aid or something like that. They used to make a comment. Ted Williams just stood up there and swung and swung and swung. Not one Red Sox player said a word. They were all envy of him in hitting, and they were all watching him.
Next pitch to Calabrese is low in the dirt for a ball. Count moves to 3-1. Excuse you, Bill.
Yeah, I got something in my throat.
Huh. The 3-1 called a strike on the inside corner. Calabrese didn't agree with the call. Count now full. Castro at second. Had a walk in the previous at-bat, then stole second base. Everything all right in there?
Everything's okay now.
All righty.
I hope.
The payoff pitch will be foul behind the plate.
Well, getting back to Ted, though, when your teammates just sit and watch you and don't say a word.
It just shows, I think, the amount of respect they have.
I was just going to say, that's respect. Joe, Bob, give me a second here.
All right. Calabrese with a 3-2 count, the payoff pitch. Ground ball over to third. Swiss across the diamond.
Safe, safe, safe.
And he is ruled safe because Winningham fielded the ball on a hop but took his back foot off the first base bag. And therefore...
Should be a base hit. Is it a base hit? A hit.
It will be ruled a hit.
A base hit.
Continue.
Oh,
As there's a mound visit to Miller, the pitcher.
Bob Kennedy was in the Marine Corps. He was Ted Williams' instructor with the United States Marines.
Oh, really? The Bobby Kennedy?
Bob Kennedy.
Bob
Kennedy was
okay.
an outfielder, first right fielder for the New York Yankees. Later was the general manager with the Cubs and with the Cardinals. And he was Ted Williams' flight instructor in California. And he said no one had the eyesight that him, that he was, they used his eyesight as the epitome of perfect. He said nobody ever matched him.
So my question to you is, and it's one that my dad has asked me, and I really don't have an answer for it, but what would have happened, or what would the stats show if Ted Williams didn't serve
2 terms? Two terms, World War II and the Korean War. Both.
What would happen if he didn't serve the country?
He'd probably be the greatest ball player who ever lived, which he is now, but he would be recognized as that. He was just, he was great.
Rizzatello to the plate, ground ball over the pitcher. Tag second for one, and over to first in time. That's a double play. We head to the top of the eighth. Otters up 5-0. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters Baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The local Pepsi Bottling Group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi Bottling Group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Jake Welch on the mound for the 8th inning. He will be in line what would hope to be his first win as an Otter.
And a complete game, hopefully.
Well, he's pitched well enough to pitch a complete game.
Right. You know, let me just say one thing on that last comments I was making about Bob Kennedy, who was Terry Kennedy, the catcher, Major League catcher. It was his father as well. But what I just told you about Ted Williams was told to me directly by Bob Kennedy. I didn't read it. Hearsay, it was directly from Bob Kennedy, who's one of my best friends in baseball.
Got it. First pitch strike from Welch to Blair Beck as we start the top of the 8th. 0-1 the count to Beck. The next pitch, swing and a miss. A biting, breaking ball there from Welch. Count it 0-2.
I tell you, that was sharp. You're right.
I want to say that was a slider.
I'm going to agree with you, okay? That was a wicked slider.
Beck is 0 for 2 tonight. He fly out to center field back in the 5th, and he struck out in the 3rd. Next pitch.
That was a good play. He pitched it inside there, only too close to him, but that was a good location.
That will be ruled a ball.
Yeah.
Count it 1-2 here in the top of the 8th. The 1-2. Fly ball, left center field, and that will drop, will roll all the way to the wall. Rounding first, heading to second with a double is Blair Beck.
See, now he had 2 strikes on him, and Calabrese asked for one. The pitch before, he asked for an inside pitch, which he got. That one there, he went across right in the middle of the plate, and that's where he was wanting to throw. And that's exactly where Jake threw the ball, and the result was a double.
That'll bring up the top of the order in Tyler Straub.
Yeah.
Last time Tyler was at the plate, he grounded out into an important 5-4-3 double play for Welch. So 3 double plays tonight for Welch. And he's put the ball in place for his defense. Not a lot of strikeouts tonight, but he has pitched excellently.
Oh, yes.
First pitch from Welch, called strike. Fastball in there for 0-1 count. Straub, the batter, batting .267 on the year. He's 2 for 8 in the series, 0 for 3 tonight.
You know, we were complimenting him on that slider. You said what a bite it had.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
another strike, too.
And there's another one. And so he had 1 ball, 2 strikes on him, made him look bad. Why would you want to throw a pitch right down the middle? You know?
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, I'm trying to say, you had a chance to throw one bad. You could afford a ball.
The next pitch, low in the dirt for a ball. Count it 1-2 to Tyler Straub, the man from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, now that was his curveball there. He threw the curveball. It wasn't that good.
Now, I know it's pronounced Albuquerque, but if you're a Bugs Bunny fan, you know that he pronounced it Albuquerque.
Wow.
1-2, fly ball, center field, and that will be caught by Jack Meggs for out number 1.
Yeah. Big out.
You said you were a Bugs Bunny fan, right?
I was, who was it, the Roadrunner?
Yes.
Well, that was the Roadrunner.
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, the Coyote, yeah.
Meet, right?
Yeah, that was it, beep, beep.
Here comes Mesa, his 2 singles on the night. He's 2 for 3. Had the bunt single in the first, had the ground out in the fourth, and a single, and was eventually doubled up on that double play by Keith Grieshaber. Popped up to center field once more, and Jack Meggs will make the catch. Will rifle that one over to third. That was on the money.
Oh, yes. And did you see the way he played it? Just like I mentioned before. He took a step backwards, judged it, got it, and threw a perfect throw to third. I'll tell you what, somebody's been working with these outfielders because they are executing the proper procedure and throwing to a base, yes.
It'll bring up Dash Winningham. He's got a single tonight. He was the result of the Keith Grieshaber double play in the 6th, and he also had a ground out in the 1st. Winningham played in the New York Mets organization. First pitch from Welch. Called a strike on the outside corner. We got a lefty on righty matchup. Welch standing tall at 6'6" on the mound, a right-hander from Spenceport, New York. Going up against his former team that traded him to the Otters. The 0-1. Outside for a ball, count at 1-1.
Who did we trade for? I mean, if we got him in a trade, who did we get them? Or was it just one of those trades? Nobody.
Might have to ask Preston on that one.
Okay. Could be, you know, hey, you need a right-hand pitcher? We got one. We're going to.
The 1-1. Outside for a ball, count at 1-1. Welch tonight, 7 2/3, trying to complete 8. He has 56 strikes and 27 balls.
Not bad. And not that many strikeouts, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't have that many strikeouts as long as they're hitting the ball to the fielders. And as you said, 3 double plays. You know, Travis Jackson, I played for him, and every year his shortstop and second baseman would be outstanding double plays. And I complimented him one day, and I said, Travis, you're doing an excellent job. He said, no. He said, the pitchers are putting them on base.
The 2-1, fly ball, right field, and that will be foul.
Yeah. But, no, Travis was right. You know, you only make double plays when there's men on base.
Waltz with a deep breath on the mound. Will gather himself. He's got a 2-2 count to Winningham with a runner on second. There's 2 outs. Deuces are wild. 2-2 the count, runner on second the pitch. 2 outs. And that will be a foul ball down the third baseline, out of play. Otters have 5 runs on 11 hits. First time they've scored 5 runs since June 1st.
Is that right? Wow. And today's what, 13th?
Yes.
Okay.
The 2-2. Line drive, and will drop for a base hit to center field. Rounding third.
That's all right.
And
Throw
heading home.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Will be Beck. He scores the Thunderbolts' first run of the game.
Right, but notice we got it to second base. Rather than to throw it home, because he would have been safe anyway. But the point is, keep that runner on first. Don't throw it home. We were talking about how the runner scored on Cronin's two runs scored on Cronin. He went to second base on the throw home. Now, the same thing could have happened here. He could have gone to second, putting him in his scoring position. You don't want to do.
So we're not going to call the fire department, but there will be some action in the Otters bullpen.
No need right now. You could use the sprinkler.
Tyler Alamo to the plate. He had a double his last time up. Was also hit by a pitch. Next pitch is low in the dirt. The previous pitch was in the dirt. So we got to count it 2-0.
Now, he might be tiring, as you were indicating, and so maybe this may be his last inning.
The 2-0 fly ball will be foul, out of play. Ball going behind home plate. Counted 2-1. We have Taylor Wright, it looks like, warming up in the bullpen, the man from Brown University. I had a chance to talk with him today. We'll hear his interview most likely on Sunday. The 2-1 will be foul behind the plate once more.
Good curveball there.
Alamo just getting a piece of that one late, and the count is even at 2. 2 outs. Winningham on first. He has an RBI single. Score is now 5-1 in favor of the Otters. Well, the interesting thing about Wright, as he warms up in the bullpen, he was working in finance. And then he went back to Brown on Alumni Day and was messing around with his buddies, baseball buddies, in the dugout. They went to the bullpen. Winningham goes, and he'll have to go back to first because that was a foul ball. So he was messing around with his friends.
Let me just interrupt you.
Good.
If you've noticed, Fulton was going to...
Winningham?
Winningham is going to second base because our pitcher never even watched him. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good. It's all right.
Go ahead.
It's important. No, it's important to notice the little details like that. I appreciate it.
Right.
So he goes again, and no throw from Calabrese. So Winningham has a stolen base, and you literally just said it.
Yeah, he's not paying attention to the runner on base. But anyway.
I think it's because there's a 2-strike count with 2 outs.
Yeah, but still he's in scoring position now. Anyway, the finance department.
Went to Brown Alumni Day. Was throwing on the mound, and his coach saw him throw 90. A called strike 3 to end the inning. Welch claps his hands as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The 3rd strikeout of the night for Welch. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Otters the score. I'll get back to my story at the top, after the commercial break.
Yeah, because I'm interested.
Okay. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
This summer, the Frontier League heads to the Big Apple as its brightest stars battle the Can-Am League's finest in the historic first-ever Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star Celebration. It's July 9th and 10th in beautiful Rockland County, nestled in New York City's suburbs. Slide to rocklandboulders.com for tickets and lodging information to see the best baseball stars shine in New York. Again, visit rocklandboulders.com and show support for your team in this Frontier League Can-Am League All-Star game.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters with a commanding 5-1 lead as we're in the bottom of the 8th. We want to thank Paul Mattingly, our engineer.
For the beep beep?
Yes. He was paying attention to our Looney Tunes conversation. We got another new pitcher on the mound for the Thunderbolts. It'll be number
22.
Patrick Mathis.
Yeah. Now go ahead. The Brown went to finance department.
Yeah, worked in finance, as Taylor Wright will continue to warm up in the bullpen. Graduated from Brown, worked in finance. He went to Brown Alumni Day, as Jack Meggs will step to the plate, and was thrown around on the mound with his baseball buddies and his coach. His coach put the radar gun on his pitch, and he threw 90 off the mound. And he was telling me that he never threw 90 miles an hour. So he then went to take another pitch, and he threw 90 again. And his coach was saying, have you ever thought about giving a try at professional baseball?
Oh, really?
And Wright was never a stone-cold reliever. He was always going back and forth between starting and relieving. So he had an American League or the Atlantic League tryout. Didn't work out, but the scout in the Atlantic League told him, I know some guy in Evansville named Andy McCauley. You should give a tryout for the Otters.
Oh, really?
So Wright is 26 years old, and you know how there's an age limit in the Frontier League at 26.
Yeah, right.
You can have one player on your roster at age 27 as a veteran.
Right.
But he's a 26-year-old rookie in a league where the age limit is 26. So in a way, he's enjoying his first season of baseball, and in a way, he couldn't be happier to be in Evansville with the history of the Otters and the fact that they play at a historic ballpark at Bosse Field.
It also may be a dream come true, too. I mean, he might have. How many people out there dream of being a professional baseball player when they're playing Little League, and of course they don't get the opportunity?
Right.
So here he's got the opportunity, and maybe it's a dream come true. I remember I was a freshman in high school.
3-0 count to Meggs. That'd be a called strike on the outside corner.
And the teacher, Sister Madeline, put down, she said, what do you expect to be after you get out of high school? And I said, I want to be a physical education teacher and a professional baseball player. Needless to say,
the 3-1 from Mathis inside, and that'll be a walk from Meggs. So Meggs was 0-3 going into the at-bat. He reaches base for the first time tonight here in the 8th with a walk.
Yeah. I was going to say, needless to say, yes, I became a professional baseball player, and yes, I became a teacher of phys ed, later a principal, later made the majors as a scout. So I accomplished a lot, and here I'm at the highlight of my career. I'm here in Otterville.
That's right. Justin Irby to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today with 2 singles. First pitch to Irby, called strike on the outside corner. Count at 0-1. We got a lefty in Mathis and a right-handed batter in Irby. Meggs on first. He worked a walk. The 0-1. Way over the head of the catcher, Fulton. With his 11th stolen base will be Jack Meggs. And that's safe to say that pitch was wild.
I would say it was a wild pitch.
There's a mound visit. And the other thing I'll just note on Taylor Wright, he's from the Philadelphia area. And the thing about us Philly guys is that we bring a certain attitude, whether it's in the baseball field or in the broadcast booth or in any other situation. We always try to bring in or go do anything with a good attitude.
Well, let me say this. The finest gentleman I ever was associated with in professional baseball was Eddie Sawyer.
Okay.
Who was the manager of the Phillies, the Whiz Kids.
Oh, really?
Yes. And anyway, he was the finest man I ever associated with.
Meggs goes off for third, and he'll slide in there safely without a throw.
And, well, if you notice, Fulton double pumped because he couldn't get the ball out of his glove.
So it looks like it'll be stolen bases 11 and 12 for Jack Meggs.
Yeah. Eddie Sawyer could drink a bottle of scotch, sit there, and you would never know it. He'd get up 3-4 hours later, and the tie and the shirt and everything, and have complete knowledge of everything. He was fantastic.
That sounds like a good guy to get to know.
Oh, yeah, and I was his boss. Can you imagine? He used to say to, Oh, Casey Stengel. Hey, Casey, you know Bill, my boss. And I'd say, don't say that.
Irby works a walk after a 3-2 count. So now runners on the corners for the Otters.
You know, I mean, here's the next major league manager, and they're saying, he's my boss. Oh, please.
You could finish. How big was the bottle?
Oh, a regular Scotch bottle. I mean, those guys could drink. I mean, now, I'm not insulting him. I mean, he had complete function of everything. He was a gentleman, and he could, you know, we were in Kansas City, and Joe Gordon says, come on, Bill, we're going to, over to the nightclub. And I said, no. And finally, Eddie grabbed me, and he said, go with us. And he said, you do what you're supposed to. He said, I know why you don't want to go. And the reason I didn't want to go is you had Cedric Tallis, our general manager, Joe Gordon, our manager, and we used to go to this nightclub, and they would order steaks and potatoes and drink the hard stuff. And then they'd vanish. Well, here it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the person comes around and says, okay, your bill is $300 some odd. What? We'd always get stuck, whoever was there, And so that's what Eddie Sawyer says. I know why, Bill. You get your own drink and get out of there. Eddie Sawyer was a super, super gentleman.
Sounds like a really good guy to hang out with.
I loved him, yes. I have had a great, great life in baseball.
Well, it's continuing here in Otterville.
Yes, it is. Mr. Bussing's given me that opportunity. I'm very appreciative.
Runners on the corners for J.J. Gould. First pitch to J.J.'s a ball outside.
This is my 10th year, believe it or not, up
is
here.
It?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're my 9th man that I've worked with.
Oh, wait, really?
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
9th man. Started off with Mike Romandowski.
I could have sworn Mike was here for more than
Mike was here for 6 years.
Okay.
But we had alternates, Timmy, and then Jake.
Okay.
And then, of course, Preston. But Preston was after Mike. But
got it.
We had Mike would do the first 3, and then Jake and whoever would come in do the
middle 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
JJ's got a 2-1 count after that ball inside.
But they never went on the road. They stayed home. They didn't.
I heard there are times where Mike never went on the road and the other guy went on the road.
Ah, you got me. I never heard that.
Well, it's, I was told a funny story when I was in Schaumburg. The 2-1. Outside for a ball. Count moves to 3-1. Irby stole second. So now the Otters have runners on second and third with no outs. So we're going to meet Tim Caldwell, who's the broadcaster for the Schaumburg Boomers tomorrow for this weekend.
Right.
Apparently there's a trip where Mike didn't go to Schaumburg. Jeff did. And Andy and the team left Schaumburg without the broadcaster, Jeff. So Tim drove Jeff back to Evansville.
That is news to me. I never heard that. Now, we did have a story of a previous radio announcer who was late and had to drive his own car to the game. Yes, but that I never heard of Mike. Mike was one of the most efficient people you ever want to meet.
Mm-hmm.
No.
3-2 count to Gould. Fly ball towards the Otters dugout on the first base side. Count remains full.
As President Trump would say, I believe that's fake news.
I could have sworn. We can talk to Tim tomorrow, but yeah, Mike didn't make the road trip to Schaumburg one day. Yeah. And Andy left Jeff, the number 2 broadcaster, the broadcaster on the road for the Otters that particular weekend in Chicago outside of Schaumburg.
Well, I tell you, there's a man who's the engineer right now back at the radio station can verify your story.
Okay.
Because Paul Mattingly knew everything that went on.
Apparently there's an issue with point streak, and that's why it was taking so long. The 3-2 is foul down the third base line. JJ battling in this at-bat. The man who was drafted by the Miami Marlins a few years ago made it to single-A ball. He played for the Greensboro Grasshoppers after rookie ball.
Well, you ask him if he knew my brother, because Jack used to go to Greensboro all the time.
Okay.
And he was with the, Marlins.
Payoff pitch will be foul once more.
I think there was a time Mike was working for the University of Evansville doing baseball and basketball. And I think it was his last year. And, yes, there was a possibility he didn't go on the road a couple of times because of his conflict with the University of Evansville.
Got it. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. JJ works a walk. He was 0 for 3 going into the at-bat. Bases loaded, no outs.
New pitcher.
Cronin to the plate. Let's recap a little bit, Bill. The Otters, they're very successful when they get on the board early, but most importantly, early and often.
Right. You mentioned that quite a few times, and I think you're right. You're right.
Now, Cronin, in a way, started everything for the Otters. Got on with what was later ruled a single, initially an error. Ryan Long hit the sacrifice fly in the first to get the Otters a 1-0 lead. And then in the second, we had a single by Rizzatello, a single by Irby, and when Cronin stepped to the plate, he hit a 2-run single with 2 outs in the second to give the Otters a 3-0 lead.
Right.
In the fifth, Calabrese hit the 2-run blast, and then that's it. The Otters now have the bases loaded with no outs, and we will bring in Blake Hickman. And if you remember, this is the same pitcher who threw to Ryan Long on Tuesday night and gave up the 2-run triple.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Speaking of Hickman, there was a center fielder for the Chicago Cubs by the name of Jim Hickman. I played against Jim Hickman, and he always was questioning the umpire. And he'd come back and he'd say, hey, catch. Where was that? And I'd say, oh, Jim, that was right down the middle. You were having bad eyesight tonight. From there on in, you could roll the ball and he'd swing. He would be so mad at that umpire that I don't care where the ball was, he was a strikeout. Jim Hickman, he went on to play in the majors, though.
Impressive.
Yeah, well, he was a pretty good ball player. He just had a mental problem when it came to disagreeing with umpires. Of course, I didn't help by saying, oh, you're wrong. It was a good pitch. And, of course, it wasn't. You always had to agree with the umpire.
There are some times where you'll take a mental note to disagree, but for the most part, I think you're right.
No, you always agree with the umpire because you'd be surprised that guy behind the plate gives you more breaks, whether you're batting or at home. And there's only one time I disagreed. Don Notabart was the MVP in this league in 1956, and he was pitching, and I think he was 18-1 for the season. And what a record, huh? And
Cronin up to the bat with the bases loaded, no outs. First pitch is a ball outside. Blake Hickman, the pitcher, as we noted seconds ago, Blake Hickman was the same man who was on the mound for the Thunderbolts when the Otters took game 1 of this series. He pitched to Ryan Long, and the first pitch was a fastball that was ripped to right center field for a 2-run triple and later scored.
No, he didn't go. He didn't go. You better he called it a strike.
He did.
Oh, he didn't go.
Cronin with a count at 1-1. Although, according to Bill and myself, Cronin did not bring his bat around the plate.
Right.
The count should be a 2-0, but it's 1-1. Right. Bases loaded on 3 walks. The pitch. Fly ball, foul territory down the third base line, and that goes out of play. Count moves to 1-2. I think another RBI here by Cronin might give me the MVP to give to him tonight.
Who's that now?
If Cronin were to get another RBI, he would get my MVP.
Okay, all right.
Welch pitched really well tonight. Only allowed 1 run on 8 hits. The pitch will be fouled down the third base line in front of the Thunderbolts dugout. Count at 1-2.
You got that shortstop up on the grass for the infield. I never seen that before.
So now the entire infield on the edge of the infield grass. So a bloop single into the outfield will score at least 2.
Oh, you ain't kidding. Or a line drive is going to get it through the infield, too.
1-2, low in the dirt for a ball. Count even at 2.
Right.
So today we had a Babe Ruth fact. He retired his number today. Ted Williams had 2 3-run home runs, 2 3-home run games in a season today. And today in 1937, the pitch to Cronin, swing and a miss on a high fastball. A little frustrated with himself. He'll go back to the dugout. There's 1 away.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to make a confession.
Okay. Well,
I worked out with the Boston Red Sox in 1950. And while I was there, and of course after I had a 3-day workout, I stole Ted Williams' pants.
You stole Ted Williams' pants?
I put them in my bag and got out of that locker room as quick as I could. So, dear Lord, you're listening to my confession.
Keith Grieshaber to the plate. Bases loaded. He'll swing and a miss for strike 1. Otters lead 5-1. Bases loaded here in the 8th with 1 out and 1 strike. Taylor Wright continues to warm up in the bullpen for the Otters. So you're a thief.
Yes.
The 0-1. Called strike 2 on the high outside corner to Keith Grieshaber, the St. Louis native. Count at 0-2. Well, to finish my thought, today in 1937, Joe DiMaggio hit 3 consecutive home runs against the St. Louis Browns. Jolton Joe DiMaggio, according to the 0-2. Check swing. And did he go around? Yes, he did,
yes,
says the home plate umpire.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Chris Diekman. So back-to-back strikeouts for Hickman.
Now here comes the man. Wouldn't this be icing on the cake?
A grand salami right here for Long?
Yes. And there was a game maybe 2 years ago when he was batting and I called it. And he did hit the grand slam. It'd be nice if he did it again.
The first pitch to Long, low and away for a ball.
And the funny thing is, Mr. Bussing was, in attendance, of course, listening to us all the time. And as soon as he hit that home run, he come running into the press room. He said, "Bill, you called it. Bill, you called it." And I know Bill's listening right now, so you can call us in and say, yes, he's right.
Next pitch is way outside for a ball. Count moves to 2-0 to Ryan Long. The 2-0 called a strike on the outside corner.
I tell you what, that's one pitch that Ryan can adjust to, that outside pitch. He takes so many, and then, of course, he swings at a lot of them, too, but maybe he should get a little closer to the plate.
The 2-1 is swing and a miss for a strike 2 to Long.
Yeah.
Fell for that breaking pitch on the lower left-hand part of the plate. That breaking pitch on the lower left-hand part.
See, now, you look where he's at. The bat, it should extend beyond that plate.
The 2-2, I'll be in the dirt. Count goes full.
You know, I'm trying to remember. I think when he hit that grand slam, it was a 3-2 count.
That'll be nice right here.
Yeah.
Bases loaded, full count to Long. The pitch.
Ball 4.
That'll be ball 4.
And an RBI.
RBI to Long.
That's right.
His second tonight.
Yep.
And Meggs will touch home plate. Going to third will be Irby. Second is Gould. And first with a walk is Ryan Long. RBI walk. Don't say that every day.
No.
So the nickname of Joe DiMaggio was Jolton Joe.
Right.
According to Simon and Garfunkel.
Married Marilyn Monroe. And the story goes, till he died, he used to go and put flowers on her grave every week.
Well, I can only imagine being married to a woman like Marilyn.
Yeah.
Actually, foul ball down the first base side to Carlos Castro, counted 0-1.
And Joe was Mr. Coffee. You probably didn't know that.
No, I did not.
Yes, he was advertising a coffee pot, Mr. Coffee.
Oh, so that's why they say it's a cup of Joe?
Maybe, I don't know. No.
That makes more sense.
Mr. Coffee.
Okay. So if you get a cup of Joe, it's from Joe DiMaggio advertising coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. The 0-1. Swing and a miss to Castro. Fell for that breaking pitch again.
Yes, he did. Way down low.
Counted 0-2 to Castro. The bases are loaded. 2 outs. Another run was walked in by Blake Hickman. An RBI walk for Ryan Long. Second RBI tonight. Otters up 6-1.
You know, and ironically, you said that this is the pitcher that Ryan got the base hit that drove in the 2 runs. Now he gets another RBI against this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So 3 RBIs against Hickman alone.
Right. So he might want to bat against this guy every day.
0-2 to count to Castro, who is 3 for 3 tonight with a walk. He strikes out right there, and that will end the 8th. We move to the top of the 9th. Jake Welch's day is done. We'll see the man from Brown University on the mound, and Taylor Wright. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen on the call, along with Bill McCune.
Right.
We're here in the top of the 9th. Taylor Wright, the man from Episcopal Academy and Brown University on the mound. Berwyn, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, Berwyn, okay. I've been there.
Once or twice?
I tell you, there wasn't many places in New York or Pennsylvania that I wasn't at.
Okay. Between scouting and playing, right?
Right, mostly scouting.
Got it. Wright, the right-hander, has a fastball, a splitter, and I believe he's working on a curve.
Pennsylvania had the best American Legion program ever. I mean, the scouts would run it during the summer. And for a scout, going the following year, you knew every top ball player. It was a graveyard for baseball for scouts. I loved it.
To the plate will be Shane Carrier, followed by Fulton, the catcher, and Perez. Carrier hit a solo home run in the series yesterday. 3 for 8 in the series. He also has 2 singles. Today, he singled, and the 4th flew out to center field twice. Right from the left side of the rubber. from the belt. He'll kick and fire. That pitch inside for a strike. Fastball right there from right. Count it 0-1.
You know, I was just thinking, you were talking about this guy being clocked at 90 miles an hour. You enjoyed being on the road because you were reading those velocity off those clocks that
yes.
there. I know.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another fastball from right. That's strike 2.
You know, you say, oh, there's a fastball, 92 miles an hour. Yep, there's 82 miles an hour.
Yeah, benefiting from the radar gun does help, especially with descriptions. So the listener or viewer can just recognize how fast the pitcher is throwing. I think it adds a little bit more juice to the description.
Well, it does, you know.
0-2 the count to Carrier. Right from the belt, the pitch. Ground ball, foul. Just foul down the third base line. Count will remain at 0-2.
That was ball 1. Way outside, he reached to protecting that plate. That he was lucky he got a foul ball, but he reached across that plate to I guess he's protecting that plate with 2 strikes.
Count it 0-2. Carrier 1 for 3 tonight. Played for the Minnesota Twins organization. The pitch will be a broken bat, foul ball. So part of the chip of the barrel from Carrier will be floating out there on the third base line, and Carrier will need a new bat. Now, if you remember, Wright was the same pitcher in the 9th on Tuesday night. If you remember those dramatics that happened when Fulton hit that ball to left field.
Oh, that's right, yeah. But he ended the game with a strikeout, if I'm not mistaken.
Strikeout and then a ground out, and his first save of the season.
Yeah, so he's living the dream, playing professional baseball.
He's really enjoying his time in Evansville.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful city.
The 0-2 from right. Another foul ball. Now a new bat for Carrier. His previous bat was a black bat. Right. This one is I guess your standard colored wood bat.
Yeah. Just chopped down from the tree. Anyway, Evansville's the 3rd largest city in Indiana.
I knew that coming in.
Okay.
The 0-2. Foul ball down the third base line.
And Mayor Lloyd Winnicky is probably one of the finest mayors.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Never met him.
Oh, he'll be here. I generally invite him up to say a few words. He'll be here.
Oh, no, I've met him once.
Okay.
They did the ribbon ceremony here last month.
Right. He's a sports fan. Graduate of Central High School.
Central in Philly?
No, Central down the street here.
Oh, okay. Big difference.
Yeah.
Central High School is where my dad graduated high school. Right next to LaSalle. Not the best neighborhood. Swing and a miss, drop third strike, and Calabrese will throw down to first in time to get the out.
Pretty good breaking pitch there.
So a strikeout and the drop third strike, the throw down from Calabrese to Castro will get the official out number 1. And it looks like Fulton will be pinch hit for a new guy, number 15.
They must be
Brett Koffel.
They must be conceding this loss because you're taking one of the better hitters on the team out to pitch hit for.
The first pitch to Koffel is a called strike on the inside corner. Another good fastball there from right. Koffel from Claremont, Florida. He attended St. Leo University.
It's right down the road from Leesburg.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to go to Walmart there.
Oh, the Walmart?
Yeah, in where you're talking about, where he's from.
In Claremont?
Yep.
Okay. 0-1, ground ball to long, and that would be fouled on the third base line.
Yeah, I used to stay at Leesburg and Eustis, and Claremont's right down the street. That's where the big Walmart is.
Is it a nice area?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
A little hot?
No, it'd be in the winter.
Okay.
It'd be the winter. I would vacation down there in the winter.
Sounds lovely.
Yes.
0-2 the count to Koffel. Wright will step off the mound briefly to adjust himself. With a deep breath, he'll line up on the left side of the rubber. Otters with a commanding 6-1 lead. 1 out, top of the 9th. From the belt, Wright will deliver. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout from Wright.
Another breaking pitch.
Back-to-back strikeouts from Wright, as a matter of fact. We got 2 outs. Wright came into this outing with 23 strikeouts. He's now has 25. 1.5 ERA.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Randy Perez to the plate. Randy is 0 for 3. He grounded into a double play in the second. Swing and a miss there from Perez on a breaking ball from Taylor Wright. Counted 0-1. And Zane Clotfelter, the PA announcer, was nice enough to announce the attendance tonight on Bud Light Thirsty Thursday. 2,835 people attended the game tonight, and it was a beauty.
It was, and it's, you know, this offers the opportunity for fans to come back and say, hey, what a beautiful game. You know, let's go back to another one.
Right.
So winning brings out fans.
Next pitch from Wright was a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. Count even at 1 to Randy Perez. The 1-1. Right on the outside corner for a strike. Fastball right there from Wright. It's 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Fans hoping for a victory right here.
Now let us see. He got the first 2 batters on a breaking pitch for strikeouts on. Let us see if he comes back with a breaking pitch in this. Be interesting.
From the belt, Wright fires.
And it is.
A called strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts for Taylor Wright. Jake Welch earns his first win of the year as an Otter.
Yeah.
Wright with strikeouts 24, 25, and 26 to retire the side of the Windy City Thunderbolts. Otters win the series. Second time in the series, Wright was the last pitcher on the mound to complete the victory for the Otters. We'll come back with the postgame show. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball, 91.5 WUEV.
The tri-state area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations.
For the
Marathon's
Otters.
slogan is fueling the American spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the tri-state, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. This is the postgame show right here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network. Well, the Otters won the rubber match of this series. Coming into this game, this was the 6th consecutive rubber match the Otters have had. They came out, and the game plan, I believe, was to score early and often. They've had a habit of scoring first, but not kept up a string of hits that would turn into more runs. They did a good job of that tonight. It was set early by the tone of David Cronin, the leadoff batter, and the second baseman tonight. He led off with a single. It was ruled a single after initially it was ruled an error in the first. He eventually reached third. He stole second, stole third. Ryan Long was able to bring him home on a sacrifice fly in the first. And then with Rizzatello and Irby on with 2 outs in the second, Cronin delivered again with a 2-run RBI single. He advanced to second on the throw to home from center field to give the Otters a 3-0 lead. And then Calabrese sealed the deal with his 2-run home run in the 5th. The Otters would tackle on another run in the 8th on a bases-loaded walk to Ryan Long. He would be credited with the RBI, his second RBI of the night. And from start to finish, the Otters played a really good, complete game, both at the plate. A great pitching performance from Jake Welch, who earned his first win as an Otter this year. Took him 6 tries, but glad he was able to come away with the win. He went 8 innings, only allowed 1 run. He didn't have a lot of strikeouts, he only had 3.
Yeah.
But he was able to take great command on the mound, and he needs to give a round of applause to his defense. They turned 3 crucial double plays today, especially with runners in scoring position. I think there was one where there were runners on first, second, and third.
There was.
With 1 out, and he turned a 5-4-3 double play.
Yep, he did.
So I'll tip my cap. My MVP of the night will be Jake Welch, the starter. He deserved the win tonight. He pitched like he should have won, and he ends up with the first win as an Otter. He improves his record to 1-1.
I will agree with you 100%. He did pitch marvelously, even though, as you say, he only had 3 strikeouts. But, you know, as long as you can get the batters out, that's what counts. And that's what he did. There was a lot of fly balls. If you notice, I mean, here we had Keith made a couple out there in left field, made a couple key catches. And you had Meggs out there in center, and he made a couple key. Well, I mean, let's put it this way. We had good defense today, and that is what was the secret. We got a couple key hits, and good defense, but excellent pitching, and that was the reason.
No, I completely agree. I mean, specifically, if we want to give a defensive MVP, it might have to be Keith, because if he doesn't rifle those balls in to home from left field on a dime, then the Thunderbolts may have scored more than 1 run tonight. You got to give him a lot of credit, because Keith made not only that double play that happened in the game from left field all the way to first, which was a remarkable throw. I guess that's what happens when you have an infielder as your left fielder. He's still got a cannon out there to make perfect throws. But he would catch the ball in left field with runners on first and second or second and third, or at one point the bases loaded. And when he threw that ball in time to Calabrese, it would hold the runner at third, and that was one of the big difference makers of tonight's game.
Oh, yeah. And all our outfielders did an excellent job of lining themselves up to make that throw at home, and they were all good throws. You know, you can have a strong arm, but unless you're accurate, what good is the strong arm? And you noticed we had good, strong, accurate arms tonight. And, again, that's the secret. Every I tell you, good pitching, good hitting, good radio announcing, and good weather.
Oh, I think that was probably the more underrated thing that we benefited from tonight. It was a beautiful day. It was Bud Light Thirsty Thursday, and just incredible night and overall day of baseball. Tomorrow, you talk about strong arms. We have Randy Wynn on the mound tomorrow night. I'm sure you're excited about that as well as I am.
Yeah.
He's taking over the #1 starting role as McGuff left the Otters. And we will look forward to Randy, who has had a very impressive season thus far. Randy went on the mound tomorrow night against the Schaumburg Boomers. The last time Randy faced Schaumburg was the rubber match on Sunday, where he went 8 innings, didn't pitch a lot of strikeouts, was able to put the ball in play. And if it wasn't for Randy's pitching performance, the Otters would have never held a 1-0 lead through 8 innings. So I look forward to Randy. The thing we like about him is he likes to work quick. He likes to keep his hitters off balance, quick 2-strike counts. And once he gets the quick 2-strike counts, he's able to work his arsenal of pitches.
No, you're right. When you've got the advantage of having 2 strikes, then you have the batter eating out of your hands instead of vice versa. And that's why, as I said, you've heard me say it, you know, when a pitcher's got a 3-0 count or a 3-1 count, that's the batter's advantage. And so when you get 0-2 or 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitcher's sitting there on the throne.
For Bill McCune and our radio engineer, Mr. Paul Mattingly, I'm Dave Nguyen. Final score here from Evansville. The Otters win the rubber match against the Thunderbolts. They take the series, winning tonight by a final score of 6-1. Tune in tomorrow as the Otters will begin a 3-game series with the Schaumburg Boomers, who they saw last week. Signing off from Evansville, Indiana, and Bossy Field, I'm Dave Nguyen.